What up, fam? Hit that like, hit that subscribe. Come recap the 2022 season with us tonight. Let's go, I guess.
Oh my God! Oh my God! Embarrassed! He's flying!
Welcome in. It's almost time. Playing. Welcome in, everybody. This is A2D Wednesday nights, only on A2D Radio. Every Wednesday, we are brought to you by FanUp, and FanUp is the best way to enjoy fantasy sports, daily NFL. Guys, what's funny? What's funny? Because I don't find it funny. I don't find nothing fucking funny. So you can leave, you can get off the airways if something's comical about glitches on my end, because I'm not in the mood for it. FanUp is the best way to enjoy fantasy sports, because I don't know what you're laughing at. I don't know if it's glitching on my end. I'm dealing with technical issues. So bring something to the conversation, or see your way out. FanUp is the best way to enjoy fantasy sports, daily NBA, NFL contests, and more. Win great prizes. Sign up today. Use promo code A2D, and you get $50 right at sign up. FanUp, you can download them right on the Apple Store. No eating tonight. No Chrome tonight. Frank Vespi, Greg Mwakvik, Ralph Delvecchio, Ryan Brutto. I'm Tom Arnone. Everybody out there, welcome in. Eagles obviously have promoted within on their offensive coordinator. We will get into the defense coordinator search later on in the show. Biggest winners and losers. I'm assuming that's of the season. We'll talk that. Eagles and Eagles 2022 season review. Main topic at hand. Ties into our poll question. Brought to you by our good friends over at Baggio's Bread in Mount Laurel, New Jersey. They're home of the best stuffed breads, tomato pies, sandwiches, cutlets, meatballs, and they're ranked the best meatball in New Jersey, which they just got not too long ago. So good stuff over at Baggio's Bread. You use promo code A2D Radio, you get 10% off your in-store purchase. Our poll question for tonight: Super Bowl 57 was the most heartbreaking Eagles loss of your lifetime. Do you agree or disagree? Let us know. Facebook, YouTube, Twitter. That's where we're live. Everywhere you get your podcasts, we're there as well. Hit the like, subscribe, follow, join the conversation tonight. And let us know what you think. Is it the most heartbreaking loss of your lifetime as an Eagles fan? You know, it's the most recent, so it sits with you a little bit more. But I think it is. I agree that it is. You know, we were a favorite in this football game. I think we walked around for 2 weeks expecting to win this football game. We knew we were up against. But if we played our football like we had the entire year, I think we all expected to win this football game. And as the Super Bowl transpired and we got through it and we were up 10 points at halftime, I think we were even more feeling ourselves. Like, hey, this is ours. This is ours. And the only way we're not going to win it is if we give it away. And what we watched on Sunday was the Philadelphia Eagles gave this football game away. And there's numerous different things you can hone in on why, but there's enough. There's a handful of reasons on why we don't have a parade today or tomorrow, whenever the heck it was going to be. There's reasons for it. This is heartbreaking. This is, like, you know, people can go back to, you know, the Tampa loss and an NFC title game. Cool story. That's not as heartbreaking as losing this one right here, because we had the lead. We were winning this football game. We controlled this football game. When you go back and look at the box score, you start questioning how we lost this football game. When you look at time of possession, plays ran, all those things, and you're still sitting here saying, well, how the heck did we lose this game? How did we lose it? We gave it away. All right, we gave it away with little costly mistakes throughout this football game. And, you know, you can blame it on whoever you want. You know, we've sort of played the blame game here. You know, I know who's to blame. You know, people out there that like I said earlier, like enjoy wearing their wives' underwear, they won't blame it on him. You know, they'll tell you that, like, he's good. Like I was told, Jonathan Gannon's a good coordinator, and he's going to be a great head coach. How do you go from a good coordinator to a great head coach? Like, that doesn't work. You take on more responsibility being the leader of everybody. All right. And he came up small. This defense came up small. And here we are. And here we are looking back on it and wondering what happened. But I've dealt with more losses, you know, Greg has too, than anybody else on here that we were really old enough to remember. And this one just sits. And this one's going to sit for a while. And every day I thought like was going to get a little easier, and every day has gotten a little worse for me. Every day is there. I find more things that I didn't want to see. Right, that's what it became. Like they didn't even see that. They didn't even see the 3rd and 2 where AJ Brown's wide open over the middle, and we don't pick up the blitz, or we don't run the ball in that situation, whatever the case may be. And you're looking. That's another opportunity missed. All right. Chucks, I would love to know how you disagree, honey. Like, I would love to know how this isn't the most heartbreaking loss. You cried the last Super Bowl. How's this not heartbreaking? How's this not heartbreaking? What's more heartbreaking than it? I need to know. I need to know what's more heartbreaking than this loss, Eagles-wise. What? Because we don't have any heartbreak in the last decade, essentially. We don't have that. Our heartbreak, Eagles-wise, came from the 2000s to 2008, 9. We haven't had any heartbreaks like this. So what ranks higher? The Patriots loss? You guys actually thought we were going to go win that in 04? I'll tell everybody to get a feel for life. You know what I mean? If you really walked around that confident in 04, like we were going to go there and win. It's different. It's a different animal. This is a game we were supposed to win. This is a game we controlled, and we let them off the hook. That's what you can take out of Sunday. We let a team off the hook. Are they the better football team than us? No, they're not. That's the point. New England was. Tampa went on and won that Super Bowl. So guess what? They were better than us. They were overall better team than us. They had a better defense than us. So, I'm not here to take shots, but you can disagree with all they want. It's a personal opinion. I just don't know what ranks higher. Eagles-wise. Like, we can circle the wagon on other things. Phillies were involved in this conversation or different things like that. We can point to some other things. Sixers will get heartbroken every year, so we're used to that. But everything else, what else? Like, what Eagles-wise? This is talking about an Eagles loss of your lifetime, not like losing a player or a season that didn't go as you expected. So, but I agree. So tell me what you guys think. Agree or disagree?
I'll go next. I mean, I'm 100% agree. 100%. I just think, Tom, like you said, if you look at the box score, you did everything right in the first half, right? You gave the number one defense or the second defense going into the Super Bowl in the league a 10-point lead at half, which I think everybody, if you had a pulse as an Eagles fan, would take that against a reigning MVP and Patrick Mahomes having a 10-point lead going into half. And you kept them off the field for the majority of the first half. I think at one point we had 19 minutes of possession time to their 8 in the first half, which is, if you look at it, that's the key thing to do. Just not even have them on the field. And then I just think the way, and I said this on Sunday in our group chat, the way we lost hurts so much more. I would rather have Patrick Mahomes throw a touchdown pass with 0 seconds left and we lose that way than lose the way that we did on Sunday on a phantom holding call. You could say whatever you want. I understand the defense didn't show up, but the way the game ended on Sunday, okay, it was the most heartbreaking way to ever see it. Because one, if you don't call that, okay, it's already a great Super Bowl as it is. You don't call that. You give Jalen Hurts, right, to shut the critics up with a minute and some change, like a minute and 50 seconds left with a timeout to go, down by 3 to either drive the field to win the game or to tie the game to send the game into overtime. And we throw that flag, and we already know what the rest is history. I understand Bradberry came out and said, I held him. But as a fan, I would like to see you keep the flag in your pocket, for that play. Just to see that. And I think we, as Eagles fans and as NFL fans in general, we got robbed of a better ending to that Super Bowl. A way better ending to that Super Bowl. So is it heartbreaking? Absolutely. Just because of the things that we did right in the first half. Second half, not so much. Second half was a different story. But the key
to that.
Go ahead,
finish. No, you're saying to that point, our defense had made so many adjustments throughout the year in the second half. Yeah. Now you look back at it and you go, was that just because we didn't play anybody? Right? Because now you got to question everything.
Yeah.
Right? Now you got to question everything. Because during the regular season, 10-point lead at halftime, you could go cut the grass in the second half.
That was a W all year long.
You knew it was over.
Yeah, a 10-point lead throughout the regular season for us going to half with this defense. We knew, okay, we're comfortable. I can sit back in my recliner, eat my French onion dip, have a Coke, and we're good to go. And it's going to be a great Monday. And we thought the same way Sunday night at halftime, and then the second half comes, and we just lay an egg on defense. I mean, we couldn't stop nothing on defense, and it was insane. But to me, I agree this was the most heartbreaking loss in my lifetime as an Eagles fan. Obviously, I was 6 or 7 years old in 04 and 02. I was shooting on a mini hoop. You know what I mean? A little Tykes hoop. So to those two, it wasn't really a heartbreak for me. I guess people who disagree could put the NFC Championship game in 08 if you want to go that route, but this is just way bigger. This is way bigger because it's on the biggest stage. Everybody's got this spot. Yeah, it's just way bigger. You have to agree to this.
And that game was away too.
It was away. Yeah.
And didn't they go on to win the Super Bowl that year too?
No, Pittsburgh did.
Pittsburgh beat Arizona. Yeah. That's right. That's right. Yeah. Because that was Kurt Warner, right?
On the San Antonio Holmes catch. In the corner.
Yeah, and that was that Kurt Warner? Yeah, Kurt Warner. Okay, yeah.
And Larry Fitz. Yep.
Yeah,
I agree. I agree, Ralph. Go ahead, Frank. Sorry.
All right. I mean, I was at the game. It was a fun time, by the way, except for the ending of that game. So I also agreed to the bowl. Yes, I mean, I was only 12 when we lost in 39. It hurt, but this one definitely hurt the most, especially that being at the game, working that game, doing a lot of stuff there with the lead up to that game. And then Jonathan Gannon shat the bed. He completely shat the bed in that second half. Andy outcoached him. And I'm pointing all those fingers on Jonathan Gannon. You failed to make those adjustments in the second half. I'm going to take the holding penalty aside. I'm going to take the turf issue aside. Gannon didn't adjust. And I thought, hey, maybe Gannon turned a new leaf and we might get this. But he didn't. I'm glad he's gone. Good riddance. I'm glad he stayed in Arizona. I'm glad he got off the plane when all was said and done. And I never gotten to the point where I had a nervous breakdown in the parking lot outside of the stadium. So, yeah. I got nothing else to say, but this hurt a lot.
It hurts. It hurts, Frank. Thank God your trip was paid for. You know what I mean? Then it will hurt more. You dropped $14K. You'd be hurting a little bit more today.
I almost did it. I almost did it. Saturday night tickets shopped under $4K. I'm just a 4-hour ride away. Oh my God, I almost did it, and thank God I did it. You know what I mean? Like, because you don't want that experience to come back, and you regret that, right? You know what I mean? You don't want that experience to come back, and that's the way I feel right now, and I would have felt had I done that. You know what I mean? Because I absolutely agree to pull. I mean, this one stuck with me longer than any other loss. And again, we're not involved, right? You know what I mean? Like, I woke up Monday, had to catch a plane. You know what I mean? Like, we all went to work the next day, or whatever, right? Like,
the regular
nothing
lives.
mattered. Like, in reality, the game has no effect on our lives, but it does, right? Because that's just what sports does to us, right? Tommy, I go back to something you said, and it's why we love football, but it's also why we hate football at the same time. I don't think the better team won. But in a one-and-done situation, you don't have to be the better team to win. You just have to be the better team that night. And that night, all things considered, the call, and hey, whatever it was, right? Whatever it is, call happened, field happened, the game happened, right? But you play a 7-game series, I feel really good about our chances winning 4 out of those 7. But because it's a one and done, and because that's just the way the NFL is structured, when you lose games like this where you are the better team, they hurt more. And I see the Alshon drop there. Yeah, but the Alshon drop, there's no guarantee we score there. Right? It wasn't like that was a touchdown drop.
You still had the 2-minute warning.
Yeah.
You had to, you know what I mean?
This one, it sticks at you because you felt like you were the better team. You came out in the first half and you showed you were the better team. And I'm not even going to go the penalty. Just you made one mistake, a false start on the play that you guys mastered the entire year on the quarterback sneak. And I don't even know if it was a false start.
I don't think it was.
I just think he was getting set.
I think it was.
No, I think he was getting set.
If you rewatch it, he just got set. That's all
he was getting set, and they pounced on it.
They all reset. If you watch it again,
Yes.
all five linemen did the same thing because they got in a lower stance, they got in a lower technique because everybody knows what they're running right there, and that's what they do.
Yes.
And that's all they did. And I felt like the beginning of this football game, because you saw a lot of different things throughout where like they were scared to throw flags. Like the early on in this football game, it's like the refs were feeling it out. And it's not a shot at the refs. Like this is how it goes. They're feeling out the style of play, how it's going on, because there were some delay games on both sides. Sure. And I'm like, you guys going to throw that? Like, it was on 0 for 10 seconds. You know what I mean? So, and that was both ways. Like where I'm like, they should throw a flag for us. There was one time, I think it was in the end. It might've been in the end of the first quarter, but like Mahomes was like it was like a sec. I don't know. They got themselves to like
2-minute warning one.
Yeah,
like the 2-minute warning one.
Yeah,
that should have been that should have been blown.
And they got a first down out of that.
15 seconds.
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, like you said, Tommy, there was those plays on both sides, especially early, and again, then to go back to that call, right? Hey, it was a call. I don't even know because what happened within 2 yards of the line of scrimmage, right? What happened within 3 yards of the line of scrimmage? Aren't you allowed to do things there that you're not allowed to do other sides of the field, right? Like I don't know, but this one hurts. I absolutely agree. It's maddening that we lost that game because I still don't think we're the worst team. We're the worst team. And just really to finalize that, there's no guarantee we're back, right? I mean, like we talk about Jonathan Gannon and the blunder that he had. There's no way in almost hell that we're going to have as talented a defense as we do this year, right? We might have a better coach that's going to get more out of that defense, but we had the most talent that we've had on a defense in a long time, and we couldn't get one stop.
Very long time.
I mean, think about the 2017-2018 one, though, right? That was just about a shootout, but what was the difference?
We got
you get a defense get one stop.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't think, and I don't know, I might be alone on this, right? Like, I don't know if this is, I know the front's really good, right? I know that. I don't know, besides the front, I want to, this is what sort of scared me this week. Like, I didn't want to go around talking like we're the 85 Bears. Like, there is holes. Like, there is holes. Our linebackers have not really played great. They've been okay. Like, TJ had a career year, but he wasn't, like, awesome. You know what I mean? He's had a career year for himself. Kaiser fell off the cliff. Darius fell off the cliff. Bradberry's always just been a solid corner. I want to go run around like first team all pro. Chauncey's legit, and Epps is just a guy. So it's not like the Legion of Booms back there. Yeah. They're very good, right? Very good. I don't know if it's great, right? And I think we found that out. We found that out Sunday night because some of the same problems in the run game came back to get us. We didn't lose this because Mahomes slung it all around. We lost this because we got beat up in the trenches. We weren't physical enough in the trenches, right? So the run game that exposed us throughout the year a couple times that we were nervous about came full circle, and the run game and Andy Reid coming full circle with the run game is the reason that we didn't hoist the Lombardi trophy. So I don't know. Like I think it's not a positive to lose players, but I think getting younger is never a problem. Like,
no doubt there.
I don't have a problem getting younger in my second. No doubt I just don't. I
don't. Greg, you point out it justifiably so the Isaac Siamalu play. Go back one play prior to that. It's not more maddening than obviously the penalty. But if Kenny doesn't slip on that field, it's a first down, and then it's a moot point. It's a moot freaking point. Right. So that happens off of a slip.
Oh, was that the Kenny slip?
Yeah.
It was the same drive.
He literally is. He is literally. If he just falls down like flat, because I made the mistake of watching because I'm like, oh, I'll get home early. I'll rewatch it before the show. That way it's fresh. I hate the fact that I decided to do that. Now I'm miserable again, times like 30, because I knew it was happening. So like I prepped myself for the disappointment. If he just falls down, not even forward, just flat, he gets the first down. The fact that he slipped backwards and then obviously chaos ensues after that, and that ends up being one of the difference-making plays. Obviously, we're not going to throw Jalen under the bus because he was – I mean, listen, he outplayed Mahomes, which to the poll, I absolutely agree. I'm dated, obviously, because I only go back to 96. And like Ralphie said, like, number one, like this not far outweighs that first Super Bowl against the Patriots, but it absolutely does because this is no discredit to that team and Donovan and Tio and Andy, but this team had far higher expectations due to the talent and everything that went into it and what they did in the season. And also their wide receiver one wasn't playing on a broken friggin' leg, or at least I don't think he was over on Sunday. I hear the Alshon drop thing. Like, listen, that still stings, but that was in round 2. Like, this was a damn Super Bowl. And with all due respect, the Eagles, you could argue in that Saints game didn't deserve to win that game because we just stopped playing football after the first
and even with that game, you know, it was going to be tough to repeat as champions anyways. So it was going to be a tough road regardless. And
you're still as great as Nick Foles was for those couple months. Like it was a backup quarterback. So it was a bunch of different things. The 2008 NFC title game, sure, that's up there. But again, it's not a Super Bowl. And it's like I get over it a little bit. And then I see a stat or a friggin' picture or a highlight of Jalen just sitting in the confetti or a stat from Shil Kapadia, which I'll read a little bit later, which is just maddening. And it's like, oh, I'm pissed off again. Your quarterback, who we didn't even know if he could go left before the year, outplayed Patrick Mahomes in the Super Bowl, and you somehow lost. Like I think Patrick Mahomes was playing on 1 foot, and he threw. I don't know the exact yardages, but it wasn't flawless. It wasn't like the Super Bowl 52 where each guy threw for like
200.
Yeah, like you know what I'm saying. And you look at the stats, you look at what each team did, and you're just like, oh, if this happens, you're gonna win going away. And you win by 3 points. You win by 3 freaking points, and you couldn't even get one stop. It's not like, oh, it's a back and forth battle. No, you gave up a 10-point lead, and I know that's easy to do against Patrick Mahomes. I feel like that's like when he's the best. It's like, oh, let me get down by double digits. Now I'll start being serious because it's almost like the guy wants a challenge. But it's maddening. It's absolutely maddening. And I do. It's weird. Like I've gone back and forth on this. Like, I understand when people say like, oh, we're never going to have this great of a team ever again. Like it's hard to ever be like, oh yeah, this will be back. And just financially, depth wise, I think that's where it'll really hurt because I do agree with you, Tom. Like you had Marcus Epps starting for you, right? Like you had guys that were in and out of the lineup that are just like, they're just guys. Like it might be better in comparison to what we had a couple of years ago, but it's not the Legion of Boom. It's not anything historic, right? Except for the numbers. I think the biggest thing that'll hurt from this year to next year is the depth because you have an Adamakin Sue and Linval Joseph, guys that are playing third string for you. You know what I'm saying? Like you're going to have to lean on Jordan Davis to do much more than he did this year.
I mean, I don't know if that's a lean on. Not saying you're saying that. Like that's a first round pick. That's a top 15 pick. Like that ain't a lean on. That's what's supposed to happen. Like year one's a feel out year for you. Year one's a feel out year. Year two, you got like. I don't know if they're not as deep. I think we think they're not as deep as they really are because of some of the free agents. But when you look at what's coming back, it's still very strong. Like I think there were not us on this show, but fans around are like overreacting to losing free agents. Dude, it's part of the business, man. So like that's where a great GM comes in. That's where great talent evaluators come in. You got to continue to draft well. So there ain't no building excuses. I'm not saying we're saying this for Howie Roseman down the line. There's not building excuses. Like you got to retool it. You got a lot of key players coming back, and listen, you got to get younger in some spots, and that's fine. And I know it's going to hurt people's feelings, but if Darius Slay's back on this football team next year, I got a fucking problem.
Well, I'll tell you this, right? And when everybody was discussing things when Gannon, officially left yesterday afternoon. I've just had this feeling ever since we watched it the first time in real time on Sunday, but I really wanted to go back and rewatch it. And this goes right to your point. As much as Jonathan Gannon sucks, right? And listen, he did some really bad things. Nobody's talking about how bad Darius Slay played. Nobody is talking about that. And
some guys get free passes.
Listen, and he was very good last year. He was good at portions this year, but he was, no disrespect, it was an embarrassment. The way
the guy had one fucking good game this year. He had one good game. And Minnesota Vikings came to town. He had one good game. That's all he had. And then he ran around on his accolades because he shut down Justin Jefferson. Listen, man, the proof's in the pudding. Every time this defense saw somebody that's considered one of the top players in their position, they got exposed. Dak Prescott exposed his defense. I don't want to hear that Jalen didn't play. Jalen ain't playing defense. Dak Prescott, that was the start of like, ooh, I don't know if we're as good as we think we are, right? Like, I don't know if we're as good as we think we are defensively. Because if our front isn't getting home, like a lot of fronts, I don't think the secondary is as lights out as people think. And like I said, Brandon Ayuk, I'm not saying these guys are like, some of it's sour grapes, some of it's the truth, though, because there is holes on every defense to beat. Sure. And if you got a legit quarterback, you can do it. Like, listen, Jonathan Gannon is the worst coach that I've ever seen walk into the NovaCare complex ever. That got like free passes from some, because what happens is people want to talk down to us as fans, like, oh, you just want the blitz all the time. No, I'm not. I don't need that. What I need is you to have a feel for games. What I need for you to do is adjust. And you never did it. And what I need for you to prove to me is that when you go against the best, you can slow it down. We talk about containing Patrick Mahomes. But Patrick Mahomes, like, you can make the argument he did outplay Jalen Hurts for a couple of reasons. He didn't have the ball as much. He didn't have time possession nearly close to what the Eagles did, right? He didn't. 0 turnovers. Probably arguably the biggest run of the football game. Okay. And Jalen was fantastic. But I can't just erase not only a fumble, but a 7-point fumble. You know what I mean? No matter if it's not something he does a lot of, that's a difference on who outplayed who. And when you really just take a step back and you say, you know, Jalen was more electric, his numbers were better, etc. But Patrick essentially outplayed him. He didn't turn the football over. They didn't have the football as much. If they had the football for the same time the Eagles did, he's thrown for 350.
The only reason why I see the other side of it, and again, I'm semanticing the game, which I love to do, obviously, is the reason why I would say gun to head, in my opinion, Jalen outplayed him. But again, at the end of the day, it doesn't matter because Mahomes is the damn trophy. He has the ring today, almost falling off the damn bus at the parade. Was that Jalen made way harder throws. But you know what I'm saying? Like, how many times did Dallas Goedert on 3rd and 7? Did he have to, like, oh, I got to have it because of the mismanagement in coverage and what our defense didn't do? Mahomes is throwing a wide open friggin' Sky Moore. A
lot of that's on him. He's the one who's probably audible on the line. He's the one who's getting them in the right play. You know what I mean? When you're that great, you know, like, I think everybody just runs the stats immediately. This guy played better than him. Well, if I take the 7, if I give him the 7, if the 7 is there, he doesn't outplay him because he essentially gave them 7 points. Now, like I said, numbers wise, that you can make the case when you rewatch it that Jalen looked like the better quarterback. I get all that. But, you know, something to be said about Patrick swallowing his pride and putting his ego aside to get them and check them in the running plays and do some of the things and not make it all about Patrick. Not to say Jalen did that. I'm saying, like, some guys want to make it all about them in these spots and they don't want to make it about the team. And I think that just goes with the type of winner Patrick Mahomes is, right? Because he didn't have to do a ton. But I'm just saying, like, with the they didn't have the ball enough for him to do a lot. Like, he did enough when they had the ball.
Well, I
had over 38 and a half completion or attempts. That wasn't even close.
Yeah, I as much as I, again, argue the other side, I can't disagree or even try and fight the whole Jalen gave up 7 points thing. And listen, nobody's crushing him before people start typing, oh, you're finding a way to blame Jalen. That's not our point.
No, it's a blame game. It's a blame sport. This is our job. Like, as fans, it's their job. Like, if you make a mistake, what are we doing?
That's the point of the game.
Just because you were
when it happened. You knew it when it happened.
Well, I
said the 50-yard line. You at minimum get 3, right? At minimum get 3 there.
Well,
and that's a 10-point swing.
When we were watching at halftime, you know, everybody was enjoying the Rihanna and everything, and they're like, "Oh, aren't you happy about the lead?" I'm like, I can't get that fumble out of my mind because you gave them 7 points without even making Mahomes walk onto the field.
We talked about leading up to it for 2 weeks, right? What do we can't do? You can't turn the football over.
Yeah. And especially against him.
And in the back of our minds, all of it was it can't be a pick 6 or a pick up 7, right? You know what I mean? Like, it couldn't be that live score. Like, you turn a football over and it's a dead ball, that's one thing, right? Now your defense has a chance to bail you out. But it absolutely couldn't be free points for the other team one play, right? Like, that was the worst case scenario of all of it.
Let me make something clear. I thought he was fantastic. Okay, I thought Jalen was fantastic. Like, I said that right after the game was over. I couldn't be more clear about that. What he proved to me in a big game like that is it didn't overwhelm him. He delivered. His coach talked about him being MJ. Well, calm down, okay? Because I need to see you in the biggest moments perform like MJ. I'll give him credit. He did perform, but I can't run like Patrick Mahomes did it. There wasn't a punt in the second half. Jalen punted. Jalen punted. As a quarterback of his football team, he punted, right? He could have checked them into a run play on 3rd and 2 if he realized that it was an all-out blitz coming, right? A zero blitz coming. He could have checked them into it, right? Jason Kelce took heat on himself for that, saying, I should have checked the line out. I should have checked this into a different scheme up front, because I knew it was coming, but I thought our protection would hold up against it, right? So I can't run. Like, he was awesome, but when the other guy isn't punting, you can't punt either. Like we talk about, if you want to play in the 30s with them, you can't punt. It's simple. I said it for 2 weeks. If you play in the 30s, this scares me. It scares me because you're playing in their hands. That's what they're used to. They will shoot at you all day. They're built for it. So are we, because we watch it this year, right? But our quarterback hasn't been through it as much as him. Experience does matter in games like this. And it came to, listen, it showed its ugly head. And like I said, Jalen couldn't have played any better besides not fumbling the football. But I can't because you played so great, I can't just say, oh, you punted, you went 3 and out in the biggest drive of the game. The biggest drive of the game. You can't go 3 and out there. You can't. I don't remember all 3 plays. I remember the 3rd one. Makes sense, guys? I don't remember all 3, but it was a terrible drive.
That Willie Gay one?
Yeah, terrible drive.
Is that the one where Orlovsky broke that down today?
Yep, that was the 3rd and 3 or whatever it was. Because that's the thing. AJ's wide open, but he don't have time.
And even in that scenario, to your point, Tommy, like, if you just get anything – they probably, like, if you get a yard, he probably goes for it at that point, right? Because you're down, right? You know what I mean? And Nick, it's something Nick's done, and Doug did it too, to kind of, prepare us as fans. Like, if it's in a go time and we're in that area, we're probably going to go for it, especially even if you just get back to the line of scrimmage. But when you have a play like that to where you're just totally blown up, you punt, right? There's nothing to do about that.
Every time they were in short yardage, they converted by running the football. For some reason, Shane didn't want to run the football in that situation right there. I don't know why. That's your bread and butter. That's what essentially you could argue got us to where we got to offensively, right? So, like, I don't like that. I know you didn't run the ball great. I get it. All right, but that's why, like, that's a Jim Irsay hire. Makes sense. Like, that's a Jim Irsay hire. I'm not crushing Shane. Like, Shane scored.
But I will throw a little bit because you mentioned it, Tommy. Some of the delayed games, like, come on, man, let's get into a rhythm.
Sirianni looked like he wanted to kill
Let's get into a
Steichen
rhythm. Why are we taking so now? Who knows whether there was communication issues, right? Who knows? We know those. The Super Bowl and those types of games, national championship games, whatever. They're more events than they are games, right? So there could have been some other external situations going on, but why are we snapping the ball at 0 seconds and like 7 times in a row?
And it almost happened again, like it woulda, coulda, shoulda, but it almost happened. It was that storyline was happening all game. They started getting caught on it in the second half. Yeah, that's the problem. So it's not like it was a one-off because those things happen.
Well, right? What does that tell you, Rye? What does that tell you?
Preparation.
Well, yeah, I don't know what play I want to run.
Yeah, like,
I'm not quick. I'm not confident in my decision making. And you could say it for the now. Listen, we're going a little overboard because they freaking they were essentially matching
35 points. Right?
Yeah, like I don't want to turn this into Shane, but I'll tell you, I'm
with you.
Shane's a better hire than Jonathan. Shane's a better hire than Jonathan. Okay, because I don't care how much all 22 you fucking watch because I didn't rewatch the game. I don't. And this is like if you guys want to put yourself through that, that's fine. I'm never gonna rewatch this football game because I watched it the first time by myself, right? By myself. If you guys were in party environments, then yeah, rewatch it because you probably missed stuff. I didn't miss shit. Not say, you know what I mean? Just because I was by myself. And I'll tell you, he did not. He ran the same goddamn coverage all game. And then people want to tell me, oh, Tom, he blitzed on the one touchdown pass. The Moore. It was Sky Moore.
The fucking all-out blitz on the 8-yard line.
On the 8-yard line. That's what you want. And I don't need the blitz, honey. I said it.
Funny too.
Ref, what do we say Sunday morning? Go ahead.
You know what's funny too? Patrick Mahomes got a banged-up ankle in the second half. We bring up no pressure in the middle. Nothing in the middle.
No. And that's where he was gashing
Nothing in the middle.
You look like Zeke Elliott of 2016. Guys running up the middle. Guys doing hurdles.
No blitzes up the middle. Nothing up the middle. It's all contained on the outside.
I thought he made one adjustment, but it kind of backfired, right? The only adjustment I thought he made was against Travis Kelce, right? Because he gashed us early. So whatever he did, but it backfired because it left everybody else wide open.
Greg, how can we not cover fucking Juju Smith-Schuster, Marquez Valdez-Scantling, Cardavius Toney? I mean, the list goes on.
To a fucking wide receiver that wears number 24 and Sky Moore.
Yeah, we can't cover those guys.
He wears the number 24 and he's a wide receiver.
Yeah,
that's what I told you. I told you guys. I told you deep down. Not puffing my chest because he had a great year last year. Darius Slay's a fucking loser. I don't care. He got all this talking and like, where's the big plays? Where's the big plays? Where? Somebody show them to me. I don't care if his wife's good looking. I don't care. I don't owe you nothing. Now you're long in the tooth, and it's time to move on. So ask me right now, I would freaking Darius and the 31st pick of the draft could head its way to LA right now. And I'm better
baby.
And I'm better.
Let's get crazy, baby.
You get
I'm telling you, dude.
You give Gardner Johnson a ton of money, right? 5 years, freaking $85 million, whatever the hell he wants. All right. And you get him and Ramsey in your defensive backfield. Now you got some dogs.
He's the reason for the two wide open throws, and Bill actually just said it too. He's trying, he reads Sky Moore going in motion. He's trying to bump the coverage over, and then he just stops looking at him.
Yep.
He just stops it. Dude.
Well, the first one's the second one's not on Darius. The first one's on Darius. The second one was they brought an all-out blitz. Avante's one-on-one. He was trying to get across because Moore started to go like he was.
And did a hard stop.
And then a hard stop on him, and Avante's head was just Avante's ran to the first row. You know what I mean? Like he was going so fast to catch up. And then guess what you tell a quarterback like Patrick Mahomes? Not only is Sky wide open, but now he knows all-out blitz. He knows. He knows he's a man coverage in an all-out blitz.
It's the same plays, and this is where I give whether it's Andy, Bieniemy, because there's always like a conversation like who's really.
Apparently, it's
plays.
Andy.
Well, okay, so I'll give it to Andy here. They did the same plays against us.
Yep.
The Jacksonville Jaguars did it to us in week 3 or week 4.
Yep.
So it's like guys, they paid attention, and we still can't cover that. Like again. I understand. Actually, no, I don't understand. I'm not even going to try and understand it because the guy's gone. When people try to argue for Gannon and they go right to the blitzing, when I would say, I'm not going to speak for you, Tom, I'm not going to speak for everybody, but I would say 85 to 95% of when we've talked Jonathan Gannon just this season, it hasn't been bitching about the blitzing. It's about what the guy does in coverage. But nobody wants to talk about that.
What did we say?
He's a secondary guy, and he never puts them in situations to succeed. Never.
Dude, he lets every quarterback for 2 years
get
comfortable.
I mean, look at the Saints game. I mean, Andy Dalton should be out of the league to be completely. I mean, let's not all sit here and think Andy Dalton's a starting quarterback anymore.
Future.
I mean, Andy Dalton looked like Joe Montana, dude, against us. Come on, bro. It's Andy Dalton, dude. It's literally Andy Dalton, bro.
Understand.
And he diced us up.
Like, who are you scared of on Kansas City beating you over top besides Travis Kelce in reality? Who? If you're front, we talked about this Sunday morning, okay? And I said, hey, you might start out running zone, right? And hope your front gets home. But once it doesn't, I can still play zone and bump. You guys understand this, right?
Oh, yeah, zone and press.
You guys understand you can zone press too and still, like, take care of your secondary guys. Go fuck yourself, Jonathan. Because if these secondary guys are got big balls like they walk around and talk like they do, okay, then maybe they should be able to cover one-on-one in this league. If they're the best tandem in football, how can they not cover one-on-one? I'll tell you why. James Bradberry's too slow in the hips. That's factual. And so is Darius Slay. They ain't one-on-one guys no more. That's the freaking problem. All right, so he caters to theirs, but not one time were they bumping. How many times did they run man? How many times did they change out of it? I don't know. You got exposed.
Well, think about it, too.
Mm-hmm.
Think about it, too. Haason Reddick might have 25 sacks if it wasn't for 3 weeks straight. He wasn't dropping in coverage. Think about that, too.
And we would have probably had the sack record by then.
Throughout this year, we were like, okay, Haason's back.
But it didn't matter because we couldn't do it the biggest game in the world.
Yep.
True.
You know what I mean? Like, yeah. I hear you, Ralphie, right? But like, but in the biggest game in the world, in the season, where were we?
Yeah.
It's just really weird energy because I literally Monday morning, like early Monday morning, I read a breakdown, an Eagles breakdown. So this wasn't even like a Chiefs thing, right? They're like, oh, sunshine and rainbows, we just won. Like, it's like, no, the day after you just choked away the Super Bowl in the second half, you have people that are part of this fan base doing a full breakdown, praising this defense because they didn't allow explosive plays to the number one most explosive offense in football because they led that in a stat. It's like you lost the effing game.
Such a participation trophy.
It's like they're like, the longest yard, the longest passing play in the second half they said was like 23 yards to Travis Kelce, or maybe not. It might have been like 18 or something. It was like some obscure number.
They're like, oh, play was his run.
Yeah, but and then the passing play was like Kelce up the middle or something. And they were like, oh, well, you did your job. It's like, did your job. You blew a 10-point lead and you didn't stop them. They didn't punt. Like, enough. Like, I get it. If you want to go in with a game plan trying to remove the explosive play, I got it. But also, the ghost of Tyreek Hill isn't on the other sideline. He's in Miami.
Listen, this is simple, man. This is simple. Sometimes we get it right. Sometimes we get it wrong, in what we do as fans and talking sports. I've never been more right on a defense coordinator in my entire life, and I feel fucking good about it. You understand? For all the guys who told me, because they're so smart, all the guys, even at A2D, there's guys at A2D that try to tell me, oh, he's really good, though, Tom. He's really good. People love him. I don't care what people like. I'm not a follower. You understand? I'm a freaking leader. So as a leader and a guy who's watched sports my whole life, I can make my own assessment. I don't need somebody on Twitter making an assessment for me. I don't base my opinions off what somebody else says. I base my opinions like people should off what I feel and what I think. And have I been wrong? Of course I've been wrong. But this one was freaking nailed. Because this dude lets his wife tie him up. You understand? You understand this? And oh my God. I've never seen a defensive coordinator that doesn't carry his own balls around. Like that's the problem. I don't need you blitzing all the time. I just need you to have a brass set, okay? Because when I found out a guy like Rex Ryan's available, how much you want, Rex? Because at least I know.
Yeah, you don't talk about balls.
That you're tough. You're a tough guy, and now that toughness is gonna carry to your defense. Don't give me. I'm gonna do everybody do me a favor. Do not give me the freaking defensive stats this year. Do not give me the sacks. Don't give me any of that freaking goddamn crap. You understand? Because I'll keep it real with everybody out there. All right? This defense played nobody. Nobody. And what did I say to you, Ryan? It's not that you didn't know this, but leading up to this, we ain't playing Daniel Jones again, and we sure as hell ain't playing the Christian McCaffrey.
7.5 quarterbacks.
Yeah, so we got a big boy now. So I was trying to say the Chrome when he's like, oh, comfortable, right? Bro, you don't disrespect that dude over there. We haven't proved that we can shut down a star QB in this league. That's not even a star. That's not even a star. He just wears one on his helmet and he carved their asses up. Exactly. Come on, man. When are we going to say, when you look at this roster and you look at this defense and you say, you're going to go in that game thinking you're giving up that many points? You can't get off the field. You can't get a stop.
Look at the first game when Cooper Rush came to Philly, dude. We're like, oh my God. Hey, is that Steve Young back there for Dallas, or was it Cooper Rush?
Ralphie Heineke. The list goes on.
Yeah, man.
On guys he let. Oh, you know what's easy for a quarterback? I'll tell you what's easy for a quarterback. From a guy who maybe spun it around a little bit. Yeah, wide open guys is helpful. You know what else is helpful? Zone. Zone's cool. I would love to throw against zone all day. I would love to throw in the windows and not have to deal with one-on-one press coverage, knocking my guy off his spot, knocking his timing off. The fuck out of here. You got the best defensive front to walk around since however long, and we ain't bumping nobody? Ralphie, what are we talking about Sunday morning? Hey, get up, get physical, right? Knock guys off their spot,
tone, dude.
and give yourself an extra second or two to get home. He didn't do that. And then you got turf that everybody's or Grant, everybody's falling all around on. So then guess what? Maybe I got to start bringing more guys.
You got to bring more guys?
Yeah, maybe I got to start doing other stuff.
Maybe all 7 of them fall over. That's fine then.
Maybe knowing that the other quarterback's got a bad ankle that can't, run to his left or to his right, bring something up the middle.
The key to all that, Ralphie, was again, aside from it being a slip and slide, when the guys were trying to break the edge and come over Haason or Sweat, how many times did he just step up in the pocket? Mahomes. You know why? Because he had freaking space. Yeah. He had space because nobody's there. Nobody's there. Jonathan, how about we switch that up maybe once? And I referenced it earlier, and this is just maddening because we talked about how eye test-wise, since the second he's gotten here, you're like, he's not great. Oh, no, he actually sucks, talking about Jonathan Gannon. And I understand players play before anybody types that in the chat. Understand it. Shilkapati
you got to get your players to play.
Well, you got to help them. You got to help them, especially if they're struggling. The Eagles have played 400 games since 2000.
Oh, I saw this and almost started crying earlier.
Yeah, I saw this while watching the game too, Greg. So it was like double. Among that sample, the defensive
watching the game again. You saw it when you were watching it again.
Yes, I almost broke every electronic ever.
I haven't rewatched the game, and I'm not going to rewatch.
I'm not going to rewatch it.
Save yourself.
I'll piss on it before I rewatch it.
Save yourself. Delete the recording. Delete any evidence. Okay, delete any evidence. Don't let yourself go through what I did this afternoon, please. Of that sample size of the 400 games they played since the year 2000, their defensive performance in the Super Bowl ranked in this per drive and success rate. In EPA per drive, they ranked 391st out of 400, and their success rate ranked 395 out of 400. So literally, eye test stats. Both categories.
The worst performance of all time.
They had a top 5 worst performance in team history on the biggest
stage of the That's crazy.
At least it's the year 2000, not full team history. Even though I feel like if we rank that, it's probably up there too.
And it goes back to what we were saying, what me and Greg and all of us were saying, right? Throughout this entire year, when we had a double-digit lead going to half, we were like, "All right, we got it. Let's move on to next week. Let's have And we thought the same thing, but yet again, Jonathan Gannon does Jonathan Gannon things, doesn't adjust, and we get diced up in the second half.
When I truly thought – sorry, Greg.
No, go ahead.
I was going to say, when I truly knew we were in trouble, right? And I was even, in real time, we fell down to the Patriots, in that Super Bowl, right? We lost the lead for a little bit and we came back. But that was different, right? Because that wasn't Jonathan Gannon. Not that defense was awesome and Jim Schwartz, coached them to, only giving up 50 total yards. That was an obliteration also. But what's the one thing we have not seen this team do pretty much all season, mostly because they didn't have to, and that's play without a lead. So when I saw the defensive trends start to plummet, Mahomes, even if he doesn't have a working foot, he's doing what he's doing. As soon as we lost that lead, I'm thinking to myself, how are we coming back?
It was the first time in the playoffs we were trailing too.
Well, I had a different feeling, and maybe it was just weird. I don't know. Even when we were down, I just felt like we were going to win. I felt like at some point somebody on our defense was going to make a big play for us.
Yeah, right. You thought it was going to. You thought it was going to.
Yeah, happen. I thought it was going to be similar. When we went down and scored, and Jalen got the 2-point conversion, I'm like, we're going to win this game now. We are going to get that one stop that is so coveted that we can't get, and we weren't able to get it. Right, and so as much as I agree with what you're saying, right? I had more confidence, even more so, is that we had a double-digit lead coming out of half.
Yeah.
So this is a defense that's used to pinning their ears back. And credit to Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes because they ran the ball down our goddamn throats.
Yeah,
that's what happened.
150 yards, 150 plus yards.
It was 20 carries for what? 120? Was it 20 carries
from Isaiah? Isaiah too.
Yeah, it's terrible.
26 for 160, 158.
Yeah, but you take out Mahomes, then it's 125 or something. Right?
Yeah, because he had 44. Yeah. So, yeah.
I will say this real quick, too. I'll go ahead, Greg. Go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, the second halves of this game in 2018 was so similar, except for Tommy, as you just said right there. In 2018, you got that stop. right? You made that stop that allowed you to get back in the game. This one we never did.
Yeah.
Whether you thought it was coming, right? And I think we all did. Once Jalen and, you make that pass to DeVonta. I had DeVonta scoring. I wish you would have walked right in.
Oh my God, I know.
You make that pass and you score and you go and you tie it real quick and you're like, all right, we're here. Now let's get a stop, right? Like one defense, one time, let's get a stop. Come on, let's go.
And I think another thing too is that not a lot of people are talking about either, or it gets brushed to the side because of the way the game ended. But that drop by Quez Watkins, that dime pass from Jalen, hurt so much.
Because the Quez Watkins.
Game over.
Yes, it's 24-21. Jalen throws a dime to Quez in stride, and he drops it. He catches that. We're inside the 10. You score a touchdown there. It's a 10-point game with like 3 minutes and some change left to go in the third, dude. And it's you would think it would be over.
Ralphie, it's horrible, right? But in real time, in that moment, everybody, because again, it was a deep ball, so you're bracing like, oh my God, he's taking a shot. But everybody in the room, right there. Everybody in the room reacted, right there. And they thought he had it. Yeah, I did. As soon as I saw it was him, I thought to myself, in real time, he's finding a way to drop this. And you go back and you look at the slow-mo, and I saw it like 6 times a day. He jumps for it. That is epitome, number one example of why he is not the guy. And again, he's a 6th-round pick, right? He's not a 1st-round pick.
Right.
You don't need to jump for that. If you literally just continue in stride, it is on your face. Like you don't need to jump. Such a beautiful ball from Jalen. Yeah, it's such a beautiful ball from Jalen. And you know what? And we sat here Sunday at 12 o'clock when we were doing the pregame show. Excuse me. And all we wanted was Jalen to come out and shut the critics up, right? And go toe-to-toe with Patrick Mahomes. And you know what, boys? He did that, man. He went toe-to-toe with one of the greatest quarterbacks right now in the league that we have, and went toe-to-toe and slung it with him and held his own against him. And our defense just shit the bed, dude. Just shit the bed. That's the silver lining to me, Ralphie. And there's a couple others, but it's that in the first 2 games, we really didn't get the answer, even though it was convincing wins. Does Jalen Hurts belong, right? Because he didn't have to do anything. You know what I'm saying? And that's not a discredit to him.
It was literally a walk in the park.
Yeah, he did. Like he could have literally not have thrown the ball the entire game, and they still would have won going away. And then you get to this game, and that's the one silver lining. It's that I know our quarterback belongs. And Bill, my question to you on that question is, are we including that fumble? Right? Because the fumble is the difference maker, right? Like if I'm slotting Joe Burrow in there, is that Joe Burrow with the fumble?
Even if you do get 3, it's 17-7. It's 17-7. And you're up by 10. It just, that fumble hurt. The Quez drop fumble hurt. I mean, the Quez drop hurt. It was just a painful Sunday, man. It was just a terrible.
The DeVonta catch, no catch that took like an hour to.
Yeah, dude, that's a catch.
And again, I'm not putting it on the refs, but
we still don't know what a catch is.
No, never will. Never will until they put a freaking chip in the ball that says catch or no catch, and the chip will decide it.
I just don't get how you could call DeVonta no and Dallas yes.
Yeah, that's exactly what I said.
I think they are both catches. Yes, because I don't think Dallas ever lost it on the one hand, right?
No. Yeah, the right hand never came off the ball. His right hand never came off the ball.
You look at that DeVonta play for 5 minutes, you're gonna find something. That's why he's supposed to be clear and concise. Like if you can't find it within a minute, wrap it up. It's a catch.
Yeah. Put a fucking timer on that.
Yeah. I mean, look for it long enough, you're going to find something.
To Bill's question, do any of you guys agree with that?
I don't know. I mean,
because you're right, right? There's too many variables, right? Yeah. You have to include the fumble. It happened.
Yeah, I didn't come out of it being like, oh, and this is not a shot at Bill's question.
No, not at all.
People just pass it over because everybody's got a goddamn agenda with something, right? So like the fumble, because he responded and went and scored a touchdown after, like, oh, it's okay though. Like you just give away 7. Yeah. Like, no. Like we would kill other quarterbacks for that. Like in a big game like that.
Yeah.
Like, Bill, I don't know. I mean, I'm not saying it's a bad question. It's just like it's one of those questions that like I could give you a handful of guys, sure, if I wanted it to fit whatever agenda I'm shooting for. My agenda is to win a Super Bowl. Right? My agenda is to be the last team standing. Right? So if there's things that happen throughout a football game that cost me a football game, I think the real fans and the people that really try to do their job well call it as they see it. And he's part of the mistakes on why we lost. He's also a part on why we were in it. So it goes both ways for Jalen. Like, Jalen proved to me he can play in big games. And that's we were talking about check marks all year long, guys, right? On different things he could check off. Well, that was his final check for me. That I believe, like, when the lights get brightest, he's going to ball, right? And that's important to me. And he's a young kid, dude, and he made a mistake, and it's not something he does a lot of. And it just so happened that, like, I agree with Greg when that.
That's
when that happened, Greg, like, I sort of felt like you. I still felt we were going to win, though, because we were just controlling everything. Like, the way we came into this football game was keep Mahomes off the field, check, right? Sustain drives, check. I mean, we couldn't check off more boxes to win a football game than we did Sunday, but a couple boxes we didn't check off. 0 sacks, 0 turnovers.
Who would have guessed?
Well, guess what? If you ain't getting after the quarterback, how many 3-and-outs? How many punts did the Kansas City Chiefs have? Right?
Just one.
That's a problem. You know what I mean? So listen,
and just one in the second half.
You don't lose a Super Bowl and not have blame to go around, right? It's just natural and positives to go around. So, as we get into winners and losers from the Super Bowl, you can make or for the season, however we want to do it, he's obviously the biggest winner because he showed us so much, right? He showed us his growth. And I got to believe that he's only going to continue to get better now, right? He's going to continue to grow. And I don't know when we're back again. You know what I mean? Like, I love the day after. Like, we're going to get back. Like, can I see the roster next year, please? I don't give a rat's ass about a schedule. So everybody out there can just, like, miss me on the schedule. Like, I don't care who we're playing in fucking February. All right? Just like I don't care in the summer, right, Rye? Like, I don't do the schedule games.
There were 3 schedule breakdown posts, like 20
Jesus
minutes after the game got done. It's like, here's an early look. It's like, I don't even know who's on our team, let alone the other team.
I don't know the order of the schedule. I don't know who's going to be our team.
Tom, we're not even in the new league year. It's still not even the new.
It's a month before free agency.
We're still
like what we do.
It's not even the draft. It's not free agency.
I mean, how long have we done?
Hires need to be done.
How long have we done? Like, not like our predictions for the season, like how many wins, etc. Blah 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 in the summertime. Cool. And I think every year we've done it, I say I don't care who we're playing. I don't care our strength of fucking schedule. I say I think this team is an 11-win team. I think this team's a 12-win team. Wherever you have them at, that should be it. It shouldn't matter who you're playing because, like, we look at week to week can change real quick. Injury rate's real. Guys get hurt. So I think these guys are just like
script we read in this week.
Well, I'll tell you what, you don't want to get in the scripts with me right now. Because I'll tell you right now, that is the biggest disgrace, and they're the biggest loser and crumb of the century is the NFL. The play on a surface that's a fucking water park. It is a disgrace to the league. It's a disgrace to the owners. It's a disgrace to everybody. It's a disgrace to
why are we still talking about it? To your point, is exactly the reason. Like, the fact that we just can't bring up the game itself. Like, every comment we bring up, except for the field, except for the field, except for the field, except for that call, right?
I am salty over it, Greg. I am salty.
You are absolutely correct.
Listen, if it was a week 3 game in October, it gets shoved out the door, right?
No. That's what get exposed to, Ralphie. Like, this is the NFL. This isn't college football has better fields. Is this real life?
Yeah, I know. Isn't that crazy?
There's high schools down south that have better football fields than what was played on Sunday. That's a problem. This isn't Tom being salty. What I'm telling you is both teams have to play on it. Sure. Okay. But our biggest key defensively is our edge and speed rushers. Well, guess what? That was nullified. There was no speed rushers. Go back and watch all the different clips.
Once they got outside about to turn, what did they do?
They all slipped. So
look at the hard rate. As soon as he just pushed off, he slept. Yeah, that was bad, dude.
The problem is this, okay? Nobody's saying that is the number one reason why we lost the game. We
Oh, no, the
completely
defense. The
understand.
defense is 100%.
Yes, exactly.
It's the defense.
We completely understand that both teams played on the field, even though if we really want to go conspiracy theory, why is it that the Eagles had to change their cleats? And the Chiefs were already given an update via Aaron Andrews. That Aaron Andrews said it, that the Chiefs knew about the turf situation or the grass situation, whatever you want to say, before the game. Oh, the guy who invented the grass and prepared it, the 94-year-old, you know where he's from? He's from Kansas City. If we want to do that, I will, but I won't, even though I just said it. What I will say is this, and Greg, you'll
Joe
appreciate
Rogan?
this.
Sorry.
So a guy, what'd you say, Ralphie?
Joe Rogan. Sorry.
Oh, yeah, listen. Maybe Joe could have formed some good grass, right? Maybe we're not doing the slip.
Oh, Joe can afford some good grass.
Oh yeah,
yeah, fair.
We've seen the grass he
fair.
gets.
That's also a
Hey,
good one.
Spotify.
I see it, Greg, and I agree with you. So a guy I know and I work with was out for the Waste Management Phoenix Open, Greg, and you'll appreciate this. They went to the game and they talked to, like, they knew the guy, not the guy like the 94-year-old, but on the field staff. They said that it was equivalent to like the rough in like New Jersey courses after a nor'easter. Like it was golf grass. Like, what are we doing? Like, that's the type of grass. It was like something 32A. It was like this special sample of grass. So nobody's saying, even though I am a little
why do
bit,
we gotta do special shit? Just
That's
put it in the
it.
regular
they
grass,
had
bro.
2 weeks to prepare for it, and week one where the Chiefs went, and I believe this is where Bucker got
Harrison
hurt.
Yep,
Bucker
Bucker
got hurt.
The Chiefs complained about it. They
Yeah.
had all year to prep for it, and we
Right.
have that. Haason
Harrison
Reddick.
Bucker got hurt
And of
week
all
one.
games to release that turf, you choose the Super Bowl, not the preseason. Like remember back then,
I'm surprised
when,
ACL's in
years
town.
ago.
I mean, Jesus
Remember
Christ.
back in the NBA, they did the new ball and people were complaining.
Yeah.
This is the new ball. This is the
well-
new ball of the NFL.
Jake Elliott's lucky
You guys
he
want
didn't
good
break an
news?
ankle too.
You guys want good news
Showing he's
on
not playing in the NBA All-Star game.
on the Phillies front? You guys want some good news real quick, and then we'll get into
I'm
winners.
ready for them. I'm ready for
All
them.
right, so
please.
Alec Boehm,
Let's go.
Alec Boehm looks to have added about 15 pounds of muscle. He's
He does look yoked.
Every time I saw a video of him, he was working out. He consistently drove baseballs over the left center and left field fences in BP. That's cool. Everybody does that. But high, long taters at that. Let's go. The guy says, I'm ready. So, I mean,
Yes, I'm ready.
Hell
to.
yeah.
My body
good
is
don't-
ready
news.
for the Phillies.
Just
I was just watching videos today of I just wanted to hear the bat hit the ball. It was just so good to have it back. Ugh.
You know what? You know where my mind goes, Tom, and I'm not comparing the two, but
Like
when
the
I saw
races?
the video a couple days ago about him gaining weight and everything, and the muscle, immediately my mind goes to how excited this fan base was when Kingery like gained all that muscle, and it was like, oh my god, he's gonna be Chase Utley with muscle, and then he's out of the league in 35 seconds.
Yeah.
But I'm glad to see this.
He'll have a
because
cameo this year.
We've talked about. Oh yeah, that's a good point, Greg. We've talked about it before, like Alec Boehm with power. Hello, how are we?
Launch angle.
No, don't say that word, Ralphie. Don't say that word.
but yeah.
I do agree with you, Tom. As far as the season, Jalen Hurts he's the winner going.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, he's the biggest winner. Took the strides that we wanted him to make. Obviously, a lot of questions coming to this year. Can he make the throws? Can he make the first read and not run? He did that all year for us. Got us to the biggest stage. Outplayed Patrick Mahomes in the Super Bowl. Obviously, the fumble was the biggest mistake, but outside of that, tremendous year. That is, I agree. I think that everybody should had that biggest winner for Jalen.
Yeah, I think guys like DeVonta had a great sophomore season, no sophomore slump there. I think as much how it started when we hired Nick. I think Nick's a huge winner in this.
I was going to go there, yeah.
I don't like some of the things he might do, and some of the things he may say at times, but guess what? At the end of the day, and I stand by this because of the 2023 athlete. Okay, that you got to be a player's coach, man. In today's world, in today's sports, okay, guys got to know you have their back. And I think the one thing we can say about Nick is he genuinely gives a shit about his players. And I think it matters. And I think it showed in year two. I don't know if it'll last forever, right? The kumbaya, campfire, s'more talk. But at the end of the day, it's worked. It's worked. And he's going to the playoffs 2 straight years. That being said, am I salty that Andy beat us? Yes. Because Andy's the guy.
100%.
Andy's the guy that I was never ready to lose. I know a lot of people were.
Not to you or anything.
No, you can give it to me. I don't give a shit.
No, that's straight up Andy. You
but
owe this one.
But I think we did fall on some shit with Nick, and listen. Hopefully, Nick and Jalen can learn from the experience because those two got to be like this, as we see with Patrick and Andy, and hopefully this is a learning experience. And hopefully, if you get back there another time, maybe things go a different way. I don't know, but I mean, our future is still very bright. That doesn't guarantee a shit. That just guarantees that of a bright future, right? Like nothing's guaranteed. So
it does help currently right now to be in the NFC too, right? It definitely does help to be on this side of the fence,
especially a quarterback. That's for damn sure. Yeah, I would say my top 3 winners this season. I would go Hurts 1, Haason 2, DeVonta 3.
Yeah, if I went players, I would throw Haason in. So we're pretty much on the same page.
And that's no disrespect to AJ. It's just he's the more consistent and sometimes better wide receiver. Like I'll always lean with consistency.
He's a possession guy.
Yep. Ralphie, your top 3?
Jalen 1, Haason 2 for me. And I'm gonna go AJ 3. AJ 3 for me.
Okay.
Just to be a little different.
At least you didn't go Quez.
Oh, Jesus.
Frank, right?
Yeah, Frank.
Let's see. My top 3. I mean, Jalen Hurts 1. I mean, by far the biggest winner of 2022-23. Other winners, I'm gonna go. Haason Reddick, number 2, obviously, great season, and we still got 2 more years of him. 3 for me. I hope he comes back next year. I'm gonna go CJ Gardner-Johnson as my other winner. And for an honorable mention, and I love how he stepped up over the course of the season and how he played in the playoffs. I'm going to give some credits to Kenny Gainwell as well. He definitely stepped up this season and very comfortable as a role player in the Eagles' run game.
Yeah, no, he definitely found the niche there towards the end of the year.
Yep.
Going into the year before, obviously, we started out how we did. All we were looking for from Jalen, right? Like I think everybody would agree, win a playoff game. Right, you got there last year, won a playoff game. He's done that, right? He's won 2, so he absolutely has to be number 1 as a winner. And he made, especially for a guy like me, and a lot of us on here, he made the adjustments you hoped he was going to make from year to year, right? And now that gives me hope that he's going to make similar adjustments from now year 2 to 3, right? So now your junior to senior year. Right now, would you come back with, in your repertoire, and that gives me hope for him because he's not going to stop working. I'm going to go against. I'm going to go with where Tommy went. I'm going to go Nick Sirianni. To get back there again, back to back. It's not easy to get the playoffs in this league. You know what I mean? And you took a team that we weren't sure last year, was going to make it. And the last thing we saw last year was, hey, your quarterback can't read a defense, right? Your quarterback can't read a defense. Now, I know Jalen put a lot of work, but you got to think Nick put a lot of work in with him to make him see those reads and stuff like that. And then my third, I'm just gonna go, my son. You guys mentioned every other guys. You guys mentioned everybody else, so I'll go my son, TJ. He had a career year for himself. He was top 10, I think, in NFL tackles. Showed a lot, though. I mean, I think we didn't know what we had in him. You know what I mean? So I'll just go him just to be different than what you guys already did. Haason Reddick's the real guy, or Javon Hargrave, right? Javon Hargrave is probably the next guy that should be mentioned.
Tom, did you see what Jalen said yesterday regarding a contract? He did. So far, he's done exactly what we've wanted and pretty much thought he would do. So if anybody missed it, he said that the only thing he was asked about a contract in like his, when he was cleaning out his locker. He said the only thing I care about is winning and ultimately winning a championship. There will be a day where that conversation can be had, but today isn't that day.
Yeah, he said what he had to say. I think he's smart with that stuff. So,
how soon do you think that's going to be? How soon do you guys think that's going to be getting done?
I mean, for me, I think you got to take a look at, where the talks are with Lamar Jackson, because we know he's going to be setting the market soon. Joe Burrow's up for an extension.
You got Herbert coming up too.
Herbert, Burrow, all looking up for extensions as well.
Am I wrong for saying Lamar Jackson shouldn't be set in any friggin' market? I'm not hating on the guy.
I think it's going to be based off of what Herbert Herbert gets, to be honest.
I agree, Ralphie.
I'm hating on him. There's a lot of problems there. I mean, there's problems of him being overweight. There's problems of him caring too much about playing video games. There's concerns of him not being, in the facility through the injury, in meetings, etc. I mean, there's big time problems and concerns. Lamar's a loser. So, I mean, I don't even care. He showed me his true colors this year because he cares more about the money than playing or his teammates. I think we saw that. I don't know when he gets signed. I don't know what their plans are, but I'm not in a rush to do it. I'll tell you the guys that much. Like, I know people are like, you got to do it now because you get him for cheap. Listen, at the end of the day, like, there's nothing wrong with signing him halfway through next year. Like, it doesn't have to be done before the season. He's on the last year of his contract. Cool. Even if you didn't sign him right away and you franchised him that next year before you get a deal done, you could do that too. So, not that they franchise guys a lot. That's not their thing. Yeah. I'm just making the point, like, you're not going to lose him. So why not another prove it year? Like, I'm not saying he needs to prove anything to us, but like,
and then just splooge after this year.
Well, really?
Yeah, but why do we have to set the market?
Why is that a bad take, Stelios? Like, I don't understand the bad take. I don't have to sign the guy right now. So, like, why? Like, putting pressure on guys to perform is not a bad thing. Like saying, do it again. Right? This was a phenomenal year. This is everything we asked for. Okay? Go do it again. I'll give you whatever the fuck you want. Go do it again. Right? Is that wrong for saying that?
No.
Who's dog shit without Lamar? Stelios, what the hell has Lamar Jackson won? What? Tell me, Stelios, because I'll wait. Bad take because you like the guy? Bad take why? Because he's cool and Madden to run around with? Do you watch him? He's declined every year since his MVP year. Every year. That's factual. That's not me on an agenda. He's declined. He's ran wide receivers that he did have out of there because they don't want to play with them. Come on, man. Come on.
Also, regardless of our opinions of Lamar, like, I don't think he's going to be. I think it's like a franchise thing, right? Like, haven't we already learned that it's going to be a franchise tag? Either that or
no, I don't think they're signing him.
I would trade him. I'd trade him to Atlanta. I mean,
Harbaugh's done with him. From what I heard yesterday, Harbaugh's had enough. So if the organization's had enough, they know more than I know. And that's from a buddy of mine who's used Baltimore guy is what told me this. This wasn't like me seeing it on Twitter. This was saying, dude, they've like had enough with the guy. You know what I mean? Like
Lamar might be playing for Atlanta anyway, to be completely honest.
Yeah. Look, going nobody cares.
With that injury, right. With that injury, there shouldn't have been any issue of him coming back for the playoffs.
Nope.
Like, he should have been back in time. He should have been back in time.
Any sports good at what? What's he good at? What?
Definitely not good at staying healthy. I think we talked about this like before the playoffs even started, Tom. Somebody asked us at the end of the show, and we got like into a big Lamar thing. I don't pay him, and before I even get to like the off the field stuff. The guy has gotten injured for an extensive period of time for 3 out of the last 4 seasons, 3 seasons in a row. I can't. Once the guy, you could say this with any quarterback that doesn't move, let alone somebody who has to move like Lamar. I can't pay a guy. You're not getting healthier. There's in the history of sports, any sport, you don't lose all of that time extensively and then just magically get healthier when your main thing is, hey, I need to move. That's why I can't pay him. Then we have all that other stuff afterwards. It's like he could be the best intangible guy, right? Best leader, all that stuff locked in. you're hurt more than you're healthy now. I'm sorry. Either you're taking an extreme discount or you're getting dealt for top value. Because if you get hurt one more time, you know what this is? It's the Kyler Murray situation in Arizona. It's the same thing.
Say the same thing here.
Yeah.
Except our guy performed. But he's been hurt the last 2 years. He's missed at least a game or two. So, I mean, that's why to me, it's like, Bill, why do I have to? What bidding war? You don't got to outbid yourself either, Bill. You got that too, right? You don't got to set the fucking market, Bill. Right? Like, why does it need to be done today? That's my question to everybody. I'm not saying I wouldn't do it, but why? Why does it have to be done right now?
I think there's two theories, Tommy, and I think the first one is do it earlier so you get in before Burrow, Herbert, those guys come out and set the market, right? Or you do it as you mentioned earlier. Hey, let's go. You're under contract. Maybe we will franchise you one more. We'll get 5 years out of you. And then we extend you if we need, then we extend you. You know what I mean? Like, there's nothing wrong with that playbook either.
They don't owe nobody nothing.
The only thing wrong with that playbook is you potentially run into the Baltimore and Lamar situation.
Or then you find something out, right? Which I
don't think it's the same situation.
No, I don't think so either. No
Bill, you're running off emotion, babe. That's what I'm going to tell you. That have to do it right now is running off emotion. That's what it's running off of. Like, you're going to lose the guy. You're not going to lose him. Did you understand how much better guys play on contract years, Bill? Like, you understand that on how that usually goes for guys that have a 1-2, right? How did Javon Hargrave do on a contract year this year? Okay, and that's just one guy. That's just one guy. Circle the league, Miles Sanders, and
DJ.
Like, it's just the way it goes. Like, it's not like that's not bad blood because I'm saying, hey, we're going to get a deal done. We're just not ready to get the deal done yet. There's nothing wrong with that. The number's going to be the number. Like, you guys act like you're saving money if you sign them now. Like, you ain't saving money. You'll save money 3 years from now because somebody else will get paid more. But I'm going to riddle you guys something. Deshaun Watson set the market. So the market's already set. You understand that? That guaranteed money's already been given out. What the fuck does Hurts have to do with Jalen? Bill? I don't understand.
Tom, would you say that he set the market or Kyler set the market?
But the difference,
well, no, the guaranteed money to Deshaun set the market because that's all guaranteed.
Mm-hmm.
That's the problem. Kyler's not all guaranteed. There's a lot of a lot of his is for sure.
That does not make sense, Bill. Or the Ertz situation, we had Dallas behind him. That was productive, and came in after Ertz and was still productive.
Tight end to a quarterback.
What did I say about Ertz? Like, I don't remember what I said yesterday, Bill. And you always got like receipts on stuff that fits your agenda. What did I say about Ertz? I don't know. That I wasn't going to sign him. That I'm going to make him play through it. What's wrong with that? How do you end up in Arizona? That aged well, right? Fuck out of here.
I feel like we talked about, it's been like 4 years, but I feel like we talked about Zach Ertz's contract for like 3 years.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, we had a lot of dates.
And we did the same thing. We let him play out.
We'll remember.
We let him play out, and what happened?
I didn't say wait till his contract was over. Hold on. I did not say this. Now you're putting words in my mouth. Did I say to wait till the year's over next year?
No,
when did I fucking say that?
You said halfway. You said halfway.
So you don't have to, yeah, thank you, Ryan, because I said you don't have to do it now. You can wait a minute. It's not the end of the world. You're not going to lose them. What's stupid, Bill? Because it's not your opinion. That's an opinion thing. Ryan asked a question. I gave an opinion. My goodness gracious. You got all the answers, Bill. Bill's never been wrong unless somebody paralyzes his head on the
Hurts
field.
is going to get $45 million north of anything, dude.
I can't do like what I said, what this guy said. Like
he's going to get that no matter what.
You would think I said don't sign him. You know what I mean? Like, never give him money.
Yeah, like, just let him walk in free agency. We'll restart again.
I don't know Jalen Hurts anything. This organization doesn't owe him a contract right now. It's like it's not like this is a what you've done for me lately league. So again, go do it again.
Tom, I think he
We're
really
definitely
wants you.
signing him in the offseason. I'm just gonna.
Yeah, I will
Probably,
say-
Ralph, and I got no problem when they sign him. You know what I mean?
Oh no, me neither. I mean, you could do it now. Hats off to him. He deserves it.
Tom, you could be truthful. I think he really wants Geno Smith. I think that's why.
Yeah, I'm shooting you.
I think that's the root of this.
Oh, there you go. There you
I'm
go.
right,
Hire
John.
Rex Ryan. Hire Rex Ryan as your defensive coordinator. Let Jalen go and bring in Geno. I
Oh,
get the band
Jesus.
back together.
Isn't he in?
Didn't I tell you
Yeah, he's
my
with
answer?
Denver. Yeah.
Didn't I tell him my
Did
answer?
did he finally sign with him with Denver?
Yeah,
I'm gonna fuck my-
not
fuck myself
confirmed
up.
yet, but it's leaning very close to
No, okay.
him going.
I might Mike Tyson knock out myself. Like, well, I gave you my answer, Bill. I don't think it has to be done right this minute. That doesn't mean it can't be done right this minute. Me personally, I wait halfway through the year. That's what I do. That's what I do.
I will say
Because guess what? Guess what? If he got hurt, God forbid, right? If he, God forbid, he tears his knee up or something happens week 2, who looks like the smart guy? Because now I just saved my football team a ton of money because I don't got to give you $50 million a year.
I will say this too, right? And I might be reaching on this, but we know how the Bengals organizationally have been in the Chargers too. They're two extremely conservative organizations with the money they're trying to put out. I mean, you look at the Keenan Allen situation, right? You know, that, and obviously that's a receiver, so I'm not trying to compare it once again like quarterbacks to tight ends or quarterbacks to wide receivers, but that's just one example that's recent. Justin Herbert, while I think he's very good, he's not coming off of a multiple playoff, performance haul, like they blew a 27-point lead.
Bill, he fucking turned down the money 3 times, dude.
And
he turned down
bet
the
on
money
himself.
3
He fired his
times.
agent. He fired his agent.
Yep.
Can I
He
tell you
fired his
something?
agent.
Can I tell you something? You can't see the difference in the two players, Bill, then you have no feel for fucking sports.
Since
If you
everybody
can't
loves
see
stacks and
the
stacks,
difference
I'm bringing
from
this shit
Jalen Hurts' demeanor and Lamar Jackson demeanor, are you okay? Have you ever heard Lamar Jackson in a press conference? Talk? Have you ever heard him freaking talk, Bill? Just talk. Just talk, Bill. Just talk. How do you get some more gold teeth, Lamar? Freaking clown. He ain't a leader. Get the fuck out of here. What the hell's Lamar ever won? I'm not trying to like a shit on Lamar party, but 1 + 1 ain't 2 on this situation, Bill. You're like 1 + 1's 3 when it's really 2. Like they're not the same player. They have no similarities in their games besides they can both move. Like they're not the same player. They're not the same type of person. They don't think alike. So what? Waiting doesn't. What's going to make Jalen mad? This is pro sports, man. I don't know shit in anybody, anything. Like when your contract's up, then we talk about paying. Bill, why though? Bill, because you get a little chubby off of it. Like why? You're like pay the man, bro. Like he's paying your bills.
We
Like,
got 20 free agents right now.
I got it.
He turned down a deal that was $290 million.
Ooh, Ralph, I can see Ralphie went to the other monitor. He went to the research monitor. See, he's got the computer.
Lamar was offered 6-year extension that included $133 million in fully guaranteed money,
We just compared.
which was a higher average annual value that's higher than Kyler Murray and Russell Wilson. And he turned it down.
One guy has gotten worse every year, while the other guy has gotten better every year. And I'm going to say it again. What benefit do you get from signing them right now? But besides just telling yourself, we signed Jalen. You know what I mean? We can share all this. Everybody share it around. Like, what benefit? I'm being honest. I'm being like thinking as a general manager and putting my GM hat on. What gain is it?
Again, if it was a situation where,
unless you're getting them to sign to a stupidly cheap deal, which he's not.
Yes.
He's not going to sign for a cheap
It's not
deal.
like he's gonna. If you wait, you got to pay him 50, and you sign him now, he's 20.
His fucking agent asked where the Brink truck is. Did we miss that tweet? Did we miss the agent say, hey, anybody know where I can get a Brink truck? Because 2 of our clients, one's Quentin Williams for the New York Jets, and the other one is Jalen Hurts, and they're both coming up on a new deal.
They're gonna get paid.
Come on, man. You
Show
think
me the money?
they're not allowed to listen, you can take a little less.
The
You can
PTO,
take-
the Player Association. Yep.
You
Ain't
can take a
allowed.
little less, but you can't. You ain't going to get $20 million off the annual value. Get the frig out of here. So I'll ask again: what does it accomplish besides you just saying to yourself, "We got Jalen"? Why can't you wait 6 weeks next year?
The only amount of money you're being saved is like a handful, like a couple $1 million. Like once you get in the ballpark of like 45, 50, which is like report, it's like just for like what, you know what I'm saying? Like we're not talking about 30 as opposed to 50. We're not even talking about 40 as opposed to 50. It's going to be north of the Kyler Murray, which I believe was like 44. Ralphie, on your monitors, can you check if it was 44 for Kyler?
Yeah, give
annually.
me 1 second.
Like again, Joe Burrow, apparently he's going to take a pay cut. That's a conservative organization. So maybe they might pay him a couple $1 million less. Joe,
they actually might have to let Joe Mixon walk just to pay Joe Burrow.
Yeah, I'm not a Joe Mixon guy. So
but there's a lot of talk of T. Higgins being available too for that same reason.
Justin Herbert is the other guy. Again, I think he's very good, but what has he done? So it's not like you're competing with contract negotiations of prime Aaron Rodgers, prime Big Ben. And that's not, putting down Herbert or Burrow. It's just like,
yes. So Kyler signed a 5-year, $230 contract, which included a $29 million signing bonus and $189 million guaranteed, which is an annual salary of $46 million.
Yeah, that's going to be the mirror. I'm sorry. It's going to be around there. Once you get into that territory, it's like, And I've seen this comment. It was by Any Sports. He's like, why are you guys worried about him getting paid? What he's deserved. Oh, here you go.
I'll pay him right now.
Why do you want your star quarterback selling for less? That's not what we're saying. We're saying that why are we in a hurry to just give him $50 million, right? And that's just the perception. It's because that's the report. Oh, he's going to get $50 million. Why would Howie just be like, oh, here you go. That way we're done. It's like, no, let's think about this now. Let's see what we're going to do with Hargrave, Bradberry.
This is basic. Yeah, this is basic. His contract is not up yet, people. This is very basic. It's very basic. You need to start with the people whose deals are up. I mean, Bill, I can't help you if you don't understand that, honey. If you don't understand that 7 out of the 50 free agents in the top 50 in the National Football League are coming off of our books, our roster. So worry about those guys first before you worry about paying a guy you don't have to pay yet. That's the point. Shit, ain't nobody telling you not to pay him. Well, you can wait a fucking minute. God damn it. What's so hard about making a guy go do it again? Why is that? Not go to a Super Bowl again. It's not realistic expectations,
that's unrealistic.
Right?
Yeah, that's way
duplicate your season again. You understand what I'm saying, guys?
Show us
another jump. I'll pay you week 1 if you show me a little jump. What if he gets hurt? Right? We signed the $50 million, say. Anything can happen. He gets hurt.
A touchdown week 1. I made $300 million.
Guys like Bill would say, well, why didn't you wait? You didn't need to sign him there. Who's holding out, Bill? He's under contract.
He's got 1 more year.
I can't do this tonight. Now, the Mr. Leader is holding out. If that motherfucker holds out, I'll trade his ass. That's how that goes. You understand? Go hold out when you got time left on a deal. Go hold out. That's leadership to you? Because the quarterbacks that do that aren't leaders, honey. I'm going to help you out, Bill. That's cute for a running back. That's cute for a wide receiver. That's cute for a defensive lineman. That's cute for those positions, Bill. Name the QB that's a real fucking winner that's held out.
Wasn't there rumors about Lamar Jackson holding out before the year? Wasn't that like headline?
That's a loser.
That's what we're talking about. That's what
we're
talking
loser.
about.
No, I know. I just figured I'd go full circle with
it. Yeah, loser. So name the quarterbacks that have held out. I need to know. Show me them all. Show me the list of quarterbacks that were on the last year of their deal and they didn't come to camp.
Last year,
show me that guy.
Last year of their rookie deal, also.
Yeah, show me that guy.
Their rookie deal.
I'm not emotional about Jalen getting paid. I don't know if you're talking to me or Bill. Any sports. I'm not emotional.
He's talking to us because he was saying earlier that we're getting worked up about our star quarterback getting paid. It's like, no,
I'm not getting worked.
I'll pay him tomorrow. Like I said, I'll pay him tomorrow. To be completely honest.
I feel like
we paid him yesterday. I don't care.
Yeah. I'll pay him right now.
This whole thing is to the people who are in a hurry that feel like, oh, how did we not extend him already? It's like, no, there's other things that we need to do. Like the same guy said, like, oh, you don't need to bring back all of your free agents. No, but you need to bring back the important ones.
Yeah,
and like paying a quarterback.
CJ would be nice.
Javon, seeing what your offensive line looks like, seeing what your defense like. You have guys here.
Too much money. You know what I mean? Like everybody makes too much money. So why do we care? Like these guys are going to go broke if we don't pay them. Like you know what I mean? Like we're living in the guest house and they're going to get evicted. So they better get paid. Like guys, it can wait.
I feel
It
like
can wait.
I feel like people think we're talking about like friggin' like drafting a quarterback on draft night or like going after once again like Geno Smith. It's like nobody's saying we don't want him back. Actually, we don't have that choice. He is back. He's under contract. We're talking about not being in a hurry to just give him any reported money that's out there because there's a lot of different numbers. You have things south of 50. You're seeing things way north of 50. You're talking like Herm Edwards said to this morning that he thinks the Eagles are going to give him a 10-year contract. Like there's a lot of stuff happening. So we're just talking about, hey, what's the best move for this team who has a bunch of moving parts on both sides of the ball? That's all we're saying. That's all we're saying. And also, by the way, ladies and gentlemen, like we said in the open, the league here hasn't started yet.
Who said keep all your free agents? Nobody said that. But you have to start looking at.
You got to keep your most important ones.
Your important ones. Oh, let's give a quarterback $60 million, but not bring anybody back. Just that way we can say, hey, we signed.
So we can
them
go
first.
3-15, 3-14. Excuse me.
That's what we're saying, guys.
Don, it started that you can just wait. You can wait to give him an extension. You don't have to do it right now. You can make him come to camp. You can make him play a few games next year. Not that you're making him do that because you're being like spiteful. You don't have to do it yet. So it's like, okay, well, go out and show me that you've taken another step. Listen, what Jeffrey Lurie said is tongue in cheek, man. He has to say that. Fucking kidding me?
Yeah, before a big game. Before a big game?
Yeah.
Before a big game? Come on, man.
Bill, what?
If he doesn't want to,
oh my god,
Bill. My god, Bill!
Dude, it's the hype of dude. We're gonna pay fucking Jalen Hurts. Okay, guys? It's insane stone, guys. He's gonna get his $50 million a year. He's gonna be one of the highest paying quarterbacks in the league. He's gonna get paid. Relax, okay, relax.
He's even entertaining.
If he doesn't want to be here, then bye.
Why are we entertaining that he wants out? Why?
If we gave Carson Wentz that fucking money, then we're getting Jalen Hurts money, dude.
Like, I don't want to sit here and say like I don't want him, but if he doesn't want to be here, bye.
Come on.
I don't even get that far, Greg. Why are we even painting that picture?
So how about losers, or should we just go right to the Phillies?
Let's get to losers. Let's get to losers.
How you guys doing?
Please.
Almost blew a lead tonight.
Ralphie, I'm already in pain, Ralph. And then we had to go through all that. I'm interested to see who your biggest loser is. Everybody.
Oh, it's the guy that's in Arizona right now.
Bill, I love you. What does that have to do with it?
No.
Bro, just skip that fucking comment, bro. Because I don't deal with shit like that.
Bill,
just move on. I'm not dealing with that bullshit.
Yeah, we know. We know. Any sports. That's what we're trying to do. Hargrave, CJGJ.
Yes.
Maybe one of the linebackers because you have zero if you let them both walk.
Jalen Hurts is going to get his money no matter what. If a fucking asteroid hits Earth tomorrow, guess what? He's still going to get his fucking money.
Depends on where it gets hit.
Depend. You know. It all depends on where it hits.
Hypothetically, what happens if it?
Guys, what if he pulls a Ben Simmons? He doesn't want to be here anymore. I don't know. Then I don't know. Then
there's a lot of
crazy,
more.
Man.
Trade value is a beautiful thing.
What? Then Archie Manning season, right? Like whatever.
Then we'll have 4 first-round picks.
Yeah, like what? Like what do you want to?
Oh my god.
We just lost the Super Bowl. I'm not doing the Ben Simmons hypotheticals right now. Okay,
I know,
I can't. I'm sorry. I'm weak.
I think it's 4 years to Arch. Just throwing it out.
Yeah.
But who cares? Then we'll get on the long-winded thing. We'll tank for Archie, right? Like it's fine. The weirder stuff has happened.
Yeah.
Ralphie, who's your biggest loser of the Eagles of the season?
Like it's the guy that's in Arizona, dude. That's my biggest one.
Ooh.
It's my biggest one. The guy that's in Arizona. That's my biggest loser, dude. Biggest loser.
I got 3.
For 3 weeks, just think about this. Just fucking think about this as fans, okay? For 3 weeks of football, we want, like I said at the beginning of the show, Haason Reddick probably could have had the sack record this year if he didn't play 3 weeks of coverage, dude. Think about that. If he was hand in the dirt for 17 weeks of football, he probably beats Michael Strahan's record. He probably beats it. Probably doesn't beat it, but he probably gets close to it. But for 3 weeks of straight football, he was in coverage. And then week 4 and week 5 came, and we all sat here and said, well, why isn't Haason Reddick putting his hand in the dirt? And then it clicked for Jonathan Gannon. And then look what happened to Haason Reddick. What was it, 16.5 sacks, 17 sacks on the year? and it was a game changer for us. But imagine if that was for 3 weeks to start the season and not having Haason Reddick dropping coverage. That's my biggest loser. The guy that's in Arizona right now.
Frank,
he shit the bed on the biggest stage.
Frank, let me go real quick because I only have one, right? And you said you have 3.
Okay. I have 3.
To me, and I'm sure I can argue others. Like I have some other guy, that we could be like, oh, are they more of a winner or a loser? To me, if I'm going players, I don't think there's a question. It's Quez Watkins. I don't think it's a freaking question. I mean, again, 6th-round receiver, 3rd string, wide receiver on your team. You could argue, oh, well, Ryan, what were you expecting? Something that happened after week 3 of an NFL season.
Catch a ball that hits you in the hands.
Yeah, or the one
so
time
bad,
you actually catch a ball, you hold on to it on Monday Night Football against a divisional opponent when you're still undefeated. Again, there's been a lot of mistakes by a lot of people. There's a lot of mistakes in that game, in the Super Bowl game and in that Commanders game I just talked about. You had to do the minimum, and you would have a role here going forward. Again, somebody who's coming up on a contract. Second half of the season, you got replaced by Zach effing Pascal, somebody who was talked about before the year as he was just brought in to be like a player's coach and insurance policy if things got a little itchy with the health. He out-snapped you. He completely replaced you. And let me break the news for everybody if you didn't already know. Zach Pascal sucks. Zach Pascal's not good.
It's not good.
He's
No,
basically
he's not.
the enforcer if we were playing hockey.
Yeah,
to be
like
completely honest.
he's like JJ Arcega-Whiteside, but like he's been in the league a little longer and he can catch like a pass or two. Like that's what he is. He's not good. And he completely replaced you. He had the easiest job arguably in the freaking conference. Playing off of A.J. Brown, DeVonta Smith, Dallas Goedert in that running game. Literally just get open and learn how to catch a couple of times every month, and you have a job. Listen, I'm not saying I was expecting much, but there's like a weird like group of this fan base that are like big Quez people. I haven't heard from them since like once again week 3, and now you're in a situation like I don't understand or agree with people thinking like we got to go receiver in the 1st round. But now you need to find somebody that, as your 3rd string wide receiver, that can return in the special teams game and can get open. Like I always think it, not this guy, but like a Cole Beasley type. Like that's what. And Quez Watkins had every opportunity to be that guy, and he just wasn't. So to me,
while you're 100% correct, I will give him credit for calling himself out and saying he had a down year, right, and holding himself accountable. I mean, you're spot on, but I will give the kid credit for realizing it and holding himself accountable for it.
Sure. Oh yeah. No. Listen, Quez.
Because to that point, Rye, it makes me at least obviously it makes me bring him back and see if he learns and makes that jump to that guy we thought he was going to be.
I'll bring him back as a 4th or 5th. I can't bring him back as a 3rd.
No,
you have a roster
you bring
spot.
him back because he's obviously on the roster, right? But
Sure.
but if he sits there and goes, "Yeah, I had a good year," then you're like, "Whoa, what's going on here?"
I will say this, and I'm not even being sarcastic, because again, sample sizes in recent years, I have to say this. Quez, thank you for not pulling a Rager. I will give you that credit.
Yeah.
Because you could have, right?
Yeah.
I just crushed you. Thank you for at least not doing that. In that case, you can come back as a fifth wide receiver.
I hear you. It gives me a little hope though that he's at least self-conscious and self-aware to where he understands that he had a terrible year.
Go ahead, Frank.
All right. Well, since
Quentin
both
Cephas? Don? Quentin Cephas?
No, he's John Hightower and me, and I would say he might catch
Jesus
a pass or two.
Christ.
He might catch a pass.
No.
Probably not. He sucked too. But listen, go ahead, Frank.
I mean, since you and Ralph both took 2 of the 3,
Okay. You have one left.
I have one left. I'm going to go with Miles Sanders.
Really? Biggest loser?
Well, this is why
really had a good year, Frank.
He had a really good year, but
won't get his money.
the last game kind of sealed the deal for me.
Yeah, well, hold on. Everybody's not up in arms for Miles not getting his money. Where's everybody in chat for Miles? Backing up Miles for not getting his money. Well, come on, guys. Are we giving Miles money too? Like, come on,
Ralphie,
now.
I mean, what if Miles holds out? What if he doesn't want to be here anymore?
Yeah, right.
Oh, it's just like the Zach Ertz situation. Ooh.
Zach
That's
Ertz
interesting.
the difference with the Zach Ertz thing.
I can't say you're wrong, Frank. Biggest game of the year, and
Biggest
he
game.
reverted back to Miles.
He fell back to earth.
Yeah.
As much as he had a great year, we got to see what he could really do with the 1,000-yard season. But I think that game was the writing on the wall that the Eagles might move on to another running back. Now, whether this is going to be through free agency or through the draft.
I think the only problem is I think Boston Scott's also a free agent.
He is
Miles
also a free agent.
So Kenny's the only guy you have under contract.
Exactly.
But do you know who's a free agent though this year?
Who?
Benny Snell.
Oh my
Benny
God!
Did we go through that before? Oh no, that was just me. That was me in a Penn State bowl game, just watching Benny Snell run.
Free agent. He's a free agent, boys. It is time.
Yeah.
It is
Right.
And there's a lot of free agents on the board for running
yeah.
backs right now.
Yeah.
time. I will buy a Benny Snell jersey if he becomes a Philadelphia Eagle. Kenny and Benny. Oh,
Kenny
what
and Benny.
it's right there, boys.
But do you know who else is? You know what else? Ralph, you know what else rhymes with Kenny and Benny? Penny. We could have rhymes on our roster. Rashad Penny's also a free agent.
Rashad
No, I don't want Rashad Penny either.
He just got hurt. You bringing his name up.
I know.
Yeah, Frank, I will give you this
Oh
credit.
my God, yeah, right.
It's just for shiggles. Like, come on.
Frank, I will give you this credit, okay?
Yeah.
So a guy who had almost 1,300 yards rushing, averaged just under 5 yards a carry and 11 touchdowns. Some could argue he wasn't a loser this year, but I like your style, so I will agree with you. Because listen, he disappeared. He disappeared. He led a fourth. Was Kenny a fourth or a fifth?
Disappeared in the Super Bowl.
Was Kenny a fourth or a fifth rounder? I forget what round Chuck's flipped down on the video.
Kenny was a
third or fourth.
He was a
I
third.
think it was I think it was high 3.
It's shocking.
In the AC room.
Yeah, it's shocking.
His hotel
And then he doesn't like him, and then I likes him again.
Oh, you're right. You're right. 5th round.
And I'll say this:
He was a 5th. Oh shit.
Cassian Arnone can run for 1,000 yards behind this line and with a quarterback who handles the RPO like Jalen Hurts. So I'll continue to lean on that. That it's
Benny Snell.
I'm saying it's easily
Bring him home,
replaceable,
baby.
but it's replaceable, man.
A lot of names are on the free agency class for running backs, so keep an eye out for that.
But there's only one that we need. Benny and the Jets. Come on, baby. Make it happen, Howie.
I'm about to Josh Adams you, Ralphie.
Oh my God, Josh Adams.
Oh my
6 ABC, love that. Oh, homegrown guy.
Might as well bring back Corey too. Corey, Josh Adams, and Kenny.
Oh my God.
Greg, who do you have? Who's your biggest
I'm going to go me as a fan.
What's the question?
Loser.
biggest loser of the season? I went Quez, Ralph went Gannon, Frank went Miles.
I had 3.
And Greg went Greg.
I feel like after watching that, I don't there's no closure, right? I just feel like like we talked about at the opening of the show, like what the hell? You know what I mean? Like we should have won this football game.
It sucks so bad.
It sucks so bad, right? Like
we waited 5 years to get back and we lost on a phantom holding call.
And it's not even that, just like the
On
whole
a slip and slide.
the whole scenario, right? Like
what I'm saying,
$900 worth of prop bets gone.
That's what I'm saying.
Like,
man.
I mean, that's me being an idiot,
I
right?
was gonna say that's you.
Saying, like,
That's you.
No, but you know, NFC, the future tickets, right? Like, you felt so good about it, like you invested everything, and then it's just like, let's go back to being the pessimistic Philadelphia fan that you've always been.
Like we waited 5 years to get back to the bowl, and we lost on a phantom holding call, and got robbed of Jalen Hurts' either tying drive or game-winning drive.
Greg, to your
Man,
point.
oh man.
Now, do you understand a few weeks ago why I said I wanted to put you on house arrest from Vegas?
Well, you should have, because Vegas kicked my ass too.
That's what I'm saying. For our own good and your own good. Rudy Poo, thank you for the super chat. He says, not universally reported, but Miles got propped the first play and his hand was swollen, so the guy couldn't hold the ball. Epitome of his career. Bye. Yeah,
Mr. Rudy Poo. I didn't even need that report because I saw it. I saw the way he was shaking his hand as soon as he got hit. With that play,
he fumbled, right? He fumbled out.
Out of bounds.
And I'm like, oh yeah, it's gonna be a long
might
night.
have more fumbles than yards.
My biggest loser. He's no longer here anymore. So, and that's Jonathan Gannon.
Hell yeah, let's see. Let's go.
I'm actually gonna get off and go to fuck the bed. You guys can keep talking. I just want to say this about my football team. I am proud of them. Nobody expected this. So I do want to say that. Like, I am proud of them for the run. But this is not a participation trophy sport. It isn't okay just to get there. And this is why we talked about the weeks leading up on how, hey, this is like you don't get there all the time. So you have to take advantage of it. And you have to capitalize on it, right? Because you don't know the next time you're going to be there. We don't. We could be back next year. Nothing stopping that. You know what I mean? But it's not guaranteed. You played a long season. You played a lot of football games, right? Shorter off season now. There's a lot that goes into it. We talked about the Super Bowl hangover, early on in the year when, I thought maybe the Bengals were going to run into it. And they did for a little bit, but they rebounded. They responded from it. That's my biggest concern going into next year would be that hangover. But I would hope I have enough leadership still here to not have that, right? But I don't know. I mean, listen, it was a great season, all things being equal. It just sucks. It just sucks because, like Ralphie said, I feel like we were robbed. And I'll read you guys this little quick nugget before I get out of here. The Eagles defense had a player slip on 38% of Patrick Mahomes' dropbacks. 5 times they had multiple slippages. The Chiefs defense had a player slip on only 14% of Jalen Hurts' dropbacks with no multiples.
38%. Oh my god.
Yeah, they were told about the cleats. They were informed about the cleats.
Yep.
For whatever reason, that same communication did not happen on the Eagles. That's just for whatever reason. We can get creative on what reason that was, but not the reason why you lost the game, but definitely didn't help.
That's incredible, though.
Yep.
It's a lot. Stelios, yeah. I mean, I'm not going to wake up and feel different on Lamar Jackson. So, I mean, I don't know what. I don't know what your obsession is with him, but that's fine. I mean, he's cool in that. And like I said, Mr. Rudy Poo, I mean, maybe it looks like that. The schedule's tough for next year, but like I said, you don't know that yet. We don't know that.
I was looking at this. I mean, as much as we don't like to talk about strength of schedule,
I can't
looking at the schedule, the NFC East as a whole, all of them are within the top 10 of hardest schedules. So, in terms of strength,
let me see who we draft first.
Let's wait till the draft. Let's wait till the schedule comes out.
They didn't even look at the Philly schedule yet, and we're like, play.
And I think the most important player to sign today. I think the most important player to sign this offseason is CJ Gardner-Johnson.
Yep, I agree. 100%.
I think he's the most important signing they need to make. He's a ball hawk. We need him in the secondary. He's young, right? So he's got 5 really good years in him, per se, right? To give him that kind of deal. And I just think he's important because we don't draft safeties well. We never have. We traded capital to get him. And I got to believe if you trade capital to get a guy, you don't believe that's on just a 1-year deal. You want to make something work with him, and you're going to have to overpay for it, and that's fine because he is 25 years old. So they're the guys you do overpay for. You know what I mean? They're the guys
you rank him above Javon?
Yes, I do because I have a 1st-round pick and a 3rd-round pick that have to play. And
the only reason I say that is because you realize you're probably losing them both, Javon and Fletch, right? You know what I mean? So then you're right. Milton and Jordan then become starters.
Yeah, and then you see what else you can do. I mean, it doesn't mean you definitely lose Fletch. It depends on what Fletch is like looking for, right?
Sure.
So I don't know, but I just think Hargrave's really going to get the bag.
I think they're both. Yeah.
He was very inconsistent up until the contract year, where he was a lot more consistent. So I don't know. I mean, it's not a shot at him. I just think
no.
He's older. CJ's younger.
I think they're 1 and 1A, right? And regardless of how you do it, because you're right, they were both so pivotal to our success this year.
Sodgate.
Thanks, Mr. Rudy Poo. I have no idea. Everything just seems criminal about what happened. That's not being salty. Ziggy, you would pay him as a safety, yes. I mean, if they signed Javon and didn't bring him back, fine. Like, I'm not going to be like mad about it. What's Javon? 27, 28?
30.
Yeah, I'm not giving him money.
Oh, I didn't even think you.
Yeah, he's out. He's out.
I thought he's 26.
Let him go get the bag somewhere else. I know how defensive linemen work in this league. So
he's only 21.
he just turned 30 last week.
And we know how that goes. That usually is coming up on the downside of your career when the other guy's 25 years old. So that's the guy I'm going to throw the brink truck at.
I'm with you.
I did see yesterday morning, because of how the cap is. Yeah, I might use that. I might pull that card. How the salary is supposed to open up. If you got rid of Brandon Graham and Kelce retires, it does open up to bring back both Javon and CJ. I don't know how popular that would be, though, if you're getting rid of BG and Kelce. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So it's a do if you damned if you.
Yeah, I thought something similar today too. Like there was if you restructure Slay, Lane, and somebody else.
Yeah, I saw that. It opens up like $33 million
total as well, and
it's
crazy stuff.
Yeah, it opens up like $33 million.
That's how he's bread and butter right there, right?
Yeah,
that's how he's bread and butter is maneuvering the cap. So,
I think honestly, and I'll ask all of you guys this: who's your key player that, aside from Jalen, obviously, that you're really looking at that's going to be like a pivotal player next season?
DeVonta.
We're going to need to be DeVonta. I'm going Jordan Davis because I really don't see a realistic way to bring back Javon. If you can, great. So you're going to have Jordan Davis, who was a guy who got hurt 3 times, played extremely limited snaps. I'm fascinated to know how they truly feel about him after 1 year.
I think they have question marks.
I do too, Greg. And again, I wouldn't say like he's a loser this season.
Not huge, but
listen,
you don't know what you have out of him right now.
You
because of the injury, right? The injury stuffed, I think, a lot of potential snaps and growth that could have happened.
I can't do this on rookie years. Right? Makes sense. Like I can't overreact to an interior lineman's rookie year. Like guys get hurt in this league, guys get banged up. It's a different level of play. I think year 1 can be tough on guys sometimes.
Oh, fair, yeah.
Year 2, you sort of know the process. You sort of know how you can get your body right for a long season. So I'll chalk some of that stuff up. I know what he does well. So I don't have a concern because I know he's a run stopper. I know he can clog things up.
Yeah.
So he also didn't get the time and the snaps to like prove his pick per se, right? And there was concerns. You did have to go get some veterans in here because the guy he did get banged up, but that's part of football, right? Like I can say that about any guy, right? I mean, AJ Brown's had a career of getting banged up. You know what I mean? So there's always concerns with that. I'm not telling you Jordan Davis is going to be the best player ever, you know what I mean, or anything like that. But he is a monster of a man. And in a physical sport, usually those guys end up being okay. Now, I'm not going to tell you he's ever going to get double digit. I'm not doing that. But what I will say is the guy next to him, that's what he does. So if you look at him and Milton as your starters next year, hypothetically, right? One guy gets after the quarterback really well. One guy's a run stopper. It's okay when your 2 DNs can flat out get after the quarterback too. So I think he's fine. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I think he's fine. I think year 2 could be better for him. But part of it is knowing what you need to do with your body to be able to withstand what is a growing year.
I wouldn't label it a concern either. I guess my question is, you're going, again, Fletcher's most likely gone. Javon, because the money most likely gone. You had Fletcher who had 8.5 sacks and Javon who had 11.5. If you're going in next season and you have a run stopper in Davis and Milton Williams, who's flashed in really small instances, there's going to be a huge drop-off by default, even if you brought back those guys, because they all had career years.
Maybe. But like I say maybe because of the ends. Like a big part of the reason why your interior could flat out get after you is that your two of your DNs had a double-digit sacks.
Yeah.
So, like, listen, it takes all the tango for sure. But, like, a big part of that is those guys were left one-on-one a lot. You know what I mean? You know, where they would roll stuff one way, roll stuff the other way. So, like, I don't know. You know, there's always – you're not going to get 70 sacks next year. So, like, for us ever to – not like saying you saying this, right? But for us ever to feel like we're going to duplicate that, I think it's, like, almost unfair. So how can you get close to it, right? Like, not saying Milton's going to come in and have 12 sacks, but can Milton have 7 next year? Absolutely could if he's getting the snaps for it because we've seen the motor. Could Jordan have 4 or 5 sacks if he's playing the amount of snaps to be able to get that? Sure he could. You know what I mean? Sure he could because the ends are still going to do what they do. Sweat and Haason are still – that's what they do, right? They get after the quarterback. They're speed rushers. And when you have those guys, you know, that gives your middle guys a little bit more room.
Yeah, quarterback comes back up. Yep.
So, I mean, but again, we're talking about this, and those two guys don't necessarily have to replace the production. We don't know at whatever pick, 10? Like, we don't know. We might draft a D tackle. We might draft a D end. So, you know, that could be replenished there as well. You know, our second pick in the first round. That could be used for the same type of thing. So, like, that's just the way it works because you can't keep everybody. Yeah. So it's like, how do you sort of fill in the gaps to do that? You know, could Ndama come back for a 1-year deal? Possibly. You know what I mean? Possibly if he still feels like he has stuff left in the tank. So, you know, could Fletch come back? Maybe. Like, you know what I mean? I think the only guy that's pretty much guaranteed to walk is Hargrave because of his age. And you're not going to give him a 4-year deal upwards of like $22 million a year. That's absurd.
I'll throw one. I'll not to the level of Hargrave. I think Siamalo is as close to a lock as possible. To be
going back?
No.
Going. Yes.
Yeah.
I agree, but disagree because that depends on Kelce. Because now your center and your right guard are two different. You know, they're two different things going into next year where
you don't necessarily want to replace them both.
Yeah, you'd rather not do both.
Yeah, rather not.
If Kelce retires, I think Isaac comes back. If Kelce doesn't retire, I think he's gone. Because then I think they allowed Jurgens to play some guard. That's what I think they would be their mindset.
My only disagreement, it's not even what the Eagles can do, right? Because I think he's not a restricted, right? He's just unrestricted.
Yeah.
So like the Eagles don't even have a say in it. The offensive line in this league, I'm not telling you guys anything you don't know, but the offensive lines in this league are so bad, especially the interior. I could see a team doing what they did to Vaitai. And I know that's a tackle, so it's a little different, where they're just paying him way more money than we're even willing to think about giving him. You know what I'm saying? Where it's just like, best line in football. Okay, the market for right guards, or I guess it would be left guard in his case, is so sparse.
No, right guard.
Say that again? Did I get it right the first time? Okay.
Yeah.
And they're just going to, you know what I'm saying? Like, I could see a team, not like Detroit, because Detroit's O-line is very good, but a team like that to where, okay, like the Texans.
No, I think you're right on the same. I think you're on the wavelength, right? He just gets overpaid.
Yeah, and we just like, okay, if we bring him back within $5 million of the range, I think he's going to get paid. Oh my God, now we really can't bring back CJ, or we can't bring back.
If he won the Super Bowl, I would agree with that more. Right, like if we cut the nets down, teams sort of overpay there. I don't see a lot of teams overpay sometimes for the runner up,
for the bridesmaid.
Right? Yeah, the bridesmaid. You more see it. Not that they won't. Not that that's not a bad analogy. Like everybody needs offensive line help. So, that's why part of it's depending on what the guy wants to do. You know what I mean? Like he might want to be here. So I don't know. I don't know that. Like. Maybe he saved his money. Maybe I don't know all the questions, right? So, like, I just think one of the two is definitely back. That's all I think. Like, I just think if Kelce stays, see Isaac because Jurgens are going to go to guard. If Kelce decides he's going to hang it up, then I think you're almost forced.
I agree.
To have to sign Isaac, right? Like you're almost forced to have to do it. So because you can't lose two there.
Put Dillard there, right? We can re-sign Dillard and put him there. And he's a free agent too.
My son can go.
No, I think it's so tough because I think they really like. I think they still really like Driscoll because of his flexibility. Because he's kind of Siamalo times 2, where he could play the tackles and he could play the interior.
I wouldn't say we're good.
I like Driscoll a lot, but no, we're not good.
Our offensive line is definitely going to start coming down a little bit.
I don't like him a lot.
To be completely
just because every time he plays, I feel like he's like a turnstile.
When he plays right tackle, he stinks. Yeah, I will give it. When he stinks.
Well, and he got a lot to live up to too. Like the other guy doesn't give up a sack, so if you give up 1, it feels like he gave up 75.
He gave up 80.
That's why, with no inside knowledge whatsoever, I might bet serious money on them taking a tackle at 10, because Lane said it himself this week that he's got at most 2 years left, and with what they've been doing with the Kelce situation, where they've been drafting protege after protege, like 2-3 years in advance. Probably did the same with Mr. Oh, and they did the same thing with Peters too.
Yeah,
like that's what they do. Staple guys, they draft proteges on both sides of the lines. Probably do the same with Mr. Johnson.
I don't disagree, especially if those two are there. If one of those two are there, it wouldn't shock me at all. Especially if Paris Johnson. I think he's the better of the two. If he's there, yes.
And Amari says too, Lane's coming off of surgery. Right?
Oh, yeah, he's going to be hurt.
So, might need you this year, kid. Whoever you are, fill in the blank draft pick. Are there any other guys? So I named Davis. Tom, you named DeVonta. Ralph, who's like your spotlight guy on a big needle mover for next year?
Oh, man. My needle mover for next year. If he gets to start, Nakobe Dean.
Oh, I think he has to start, Ralphie, because of the contract. You can't pay a linebacker.
Nakobe Dean is my guy.
You're not going to be able to pay Edwards and Kaiser.
Kaiser's gone. He's like my lock to be gone.
Yeah, and he's on a 1 year. He was on a 1 year to begin with, right? Kaiser. Yeah.
And you'd have to imagine any coordinator come in and is at minimum running a 3-4, if not a 4-3, not like the 5-2 that we were in. So you're spot on there, Ralphie. I think he's gonna have to play and start and play and be good. Like I think he's going to be.
Yeah, me too.
Frank,
biggest needle mover. Oh, geez.
Would you like to go to Greg first, and then
let's go to Greg.
Defensively, I'm going to say the same thing that Ralph said. I think Nakobe.
Yeah.
Great.
I'm going to go. Blankenship.
I like it.
Because obviously Epps is a free agent, CJ is a free agent. If one of those doesn't come back, then you'd have to think that he played a lot this year. He would start on the one side, right? You know what I mean? Hopefully it's alongside CJ. And I think that with what you currently have, I think that gives you the best of your options. But I think Epps is, I don't think Epps is going to make a whole lot of money. So it doesn't, you know what I mean? Like it wouldn't hate to bring him back. You know what I mean?
Well, I think the fact that Denard Wilson's your most likely DC would not surprise me at all if he's back, because they obviously loved Epps. I mean, they were trying to sell Epps on us like in freaking June. They're like, oh no, we don't need a star. We don't need a star safety. We need friggin'. We have Marcus Epps.
We need Omar Epps.
Yeah, I think actually, and I'm not saying I like this hire, but I think it's going to be Vance Joseph. I think they're gonna get a guy who's done it. They're not going to lose two coordinators and have two guys,
two freshies.
You almost have to, because you almost have to go in the next year with new tape. Does that make sense? You have to go in the next year with not the same tape. Sometimes it's okay to lose coordinators because you lose the film. You lose all their tendencies. So sometimes it's like, okay, that doesn't mean it always works out for you. And I think Denard Wilson can coach, but what's your D-back coach now? So then I got to fill that, right? So it's a trickle down. So if I can go get a guy, and I think Vance Joseph is proven. Let me make this clear. But one, a little bit more aggressive, obviously. Didn't have the personnel to do anything you want to do in Arizona. And that's factual.
Yeah.
I don't know if his style fits what they like, but I think it would be a good hire because at least it's a guy who has experience. Because right now, you got a guy calling offensive plays that how much experience does he have in that? So you have some, you can't lose everything, right? You have to you're going to lose stuff, but you do have to replace some things with some veterans, right? Like if that's free agency, if that's your defensive coordinator, right? It would be good. It would be good to know okay, we actually have a veteran defensive coordinator in here and not some guy who's never ran a defense before either.
So I'm looking.
Absolutely.
I'm looking at what he had in his 2 years as defensive coordinator. Or no, I think he was the head coach in Denver, correct? Before he got fired.
Yes.
Yes.
I'm looking to see what he had in that second.
I think he was a head coach somewhere.
I think it's Denver. I think it was Denver after their coach from the Super Bowl years retired. The offensive-minded guy. I'm blanking on his name. So he's worked with high talent in their secondary in Denver. He had Justin Simmons. He had Harris. He had Aqib Talib before he sucked.
Mm-hmm.
I'm cool with it. Because here's the thing, and listen, nobody has any idea what Denard Wilson is, but you would have to think he was in the same room as Jonathan Gannon, Jonathan Gannon prized himself on a secondary guy. So it's going to be the same thought process. So
I want a little different.
Yeah,
yep,
I just want a little different. I need fresh eyes. And also the biggest thing, because we already have huge questions on who's calling plays. I guess it would be Nick on offense because I don't think it's going to be Brian. And I think it's going to be let me give this a second try back to my rookie season with Sirianni before he gave over the play calls after that Raiders game. You're not going to have two completely unknown entities. You know what I'm saying? Where you're going in with Brian Johnson, maybe you'll call the plays. Denard Wilson, maybe you'll you got to have somebody who's done it before. I actually wouldn't mind Lovie Smith just because I know that guy has experience. Not saying I would run abroad over it because Lovie Smith hasn't been the greatest candidate for numerous different jobs, right?
I think he's a loser at this point of his life, sadly, for him. Another good name somebody brought up, Gerard Mayo is a good name.
Yeah, Gerard. Yeah, I like Gerard Mayo as well.
If they let him,
he was very impressive. When the Eagles were looking for their new head coach, Mayo was one of the candidates at one point, and they were impressed with his interview. So maybe make him a DC.
He's still not in. He's still in New England, right?
He's still in New England. Yep.
I mean, we'll see if they let him out the door, but they don't have a choice if the guy's going to take a defensive coordinator job. Yeah. So, I mean, that's an upgrade from a linebacker coach. Not saying that's the answer, but there's better answers than inside the building, in my opinion.
Can I just say this one thing? Just a note to the entire fan base, something we can just stop with. And this is no disrespect to the guy, right?
Oh, is it what I think it is?
Can we stop saying Seth Joyner defensive coordinator for the love of Christ?
And same thing with Brian Dawkins.
Yeah, Dawkins, whatever. The Seth Joyner thing for starters. The man has said on his damn podcast thousands of times he has no interest in going into coaching. He would have already done it 10 years ago.
Yeah.
Second thing is, these guys.
I don't listen to his podcast to know it because I don't give a fuck about Seth Joyner.
I honestly saw the quote on Twitter that was from his podcast. I don't have time for that. This isn't like a Jeff Saturday situation where it's oh, you're on TV. Oh, come over and call, please. These guys, unless you're in Indianapolis, go through years and years and years of going through the levels of coaching. You know what I'm saying? Quality control. Then you go to a skill position. Stop with the Seth Joyners. I understand, he has, he's passionate about what the defense does wrong, and sometimes he's correct. Sometimes he's not, also. But, just because Seth Joyner's, a former player and he says a lot of things on Twitter doesn't mean he's the best or most realistic, guy for defensive coordinator. And also, can we not be the Flyers? Where, we're just going to bring a guy back. Can we not do that, please? For God's sakes. That's all. I've seen that, and I've heard that about 20 times since the damn game on Sunday, and there's not been a lot of time since that game.
Yeah, I mean, I could call plays too. So, I mean, if we're doing this, there's a lot of people who call plays with no experience doing it. You know what I mean? Just because you play don't mean that you're going to be a good signal caller. So, some of the best coaches are guys that didn't do something at a high level playing wise, right? Because it's just, it's how that goes sometimes. All right, I'm going to bed. So this has been fun. Hopefully next week we can get the fuck away from Eagles. Now, not that I want to get away from Eagles because I would talk about them all year if they would have won, but then since they lost, it's not. It sucks.
We'll break down the All-Star break in the NBA next week. Because that's the thing that sucks too. We don't even have the Sixers until next Thursday now.
I know.
So we got to sit in this mess.
All-Star break.
Oh, let's go get it. Let's go get it. What do we got? One more game before the All-Star game?
No, that was it tonight. That was it. We're going into next Thursday night.
Well, good. Joel needs some time off. I'll venture to guess he's not going to play in the All-Star game. But they are winners of 4 in a row, and tonight's a good win. I don't really care what NBA Twitter has to say. I really don't care. Like, if you watch enough basketball in the NBA, there ain't a safe lead. So there ain't no such thing as a safe goddamn lead. What's the safe thing is, did you win? Did you hold on? Because it's a lot worse if you didn't hold on. I just never seen a coach get so much scrutiny and his team's got like 40 wins at the break. You know what I mean? Like, I've never seen it. Like, he's not perfect, but like, we act like it's like a dumpster fucking fire here. Like, we're pretty good. We're pretty good. So let's try to rally around it now, right? Like, let's just, like, we talk about having good thoughts in our minds about stuff. Well, let's try the same thing for the Sixers, and then they'll lose in the second round.
My only request
basketball news real quick. Kevin Love buyout for the Cavs just happened.
Sixers fans, no.
I'd rather have his dog.
Yeah, no. Oh, it's a big man who could shoot. Yeah, 3 years ago when LeBron was on the team.
There's a reason he doesn't play for Cleveland.
Yeah, freaking Dean Wade is took all of his minutes. Dean Wade, not Dwayne Wade.
Kevin Love
Dean
wasn't
Wade
in the rotation anymore. Yeah.
My only request to those miserable people who like want to complain about everything, like after a win, not just tonight's win, like a 40-point win. Can we wait until like the second round of the playoffs and see if they break their hearts again? Then we can bitch, right? Like, don't do it now. Let's be happy now. Just wait until it's actually appropriate to bitch. The time will come, just not right now. Wait until May.
I'll leave you with this. If Joel Embiid's healthy in the playoffs, they're getting past the second round.
Oh, James Harden is unbelievable right now, too. I'm sorry, Greg. I know you don't like the guy, but he's unbelievable right now.
He's good. All right, boys. Later. I'm going to bed.
See you, Tommy.
Frank, did you come up?
Bye, guys. See you guys.
See you, brother.
Thanks.
I said see you.
One fucking person.
I did said see you.
Oh, good. Oh, good. We can laugh at the sign now. Hooray.
I said see you.
We both did, brother. It's fine. It's a tough week, brother. I don't know.
Okay. So my needle mover, I'm going to go with Milton Williams if we don't resign Javon Hargrave.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
I had one other question. I was going to sign off too.
We can roll.
Yeah.
I mean,
you can't end the show. I got to end the show, huh? We'll do another hour. Let's do another hour.
I could also end
I
it.
can only end it.
I also have access to end the broadcast.
Okay. We'll kick Frank out. Oh, goddamn. Sorry.
Anything left, fellas?
Nope.
No, I just want to give a quick shout out to
Vegas.
Oh, Vegas, thanks for kicking my ass. No, Torrey Pines Pub there in Vegas, though. I mean, that's a legit Eagles bar where we watched the game on Sunday. Me and a couple Eagles fan coworkers. Great little spot. Small little spot. Glad we were able to find a nook to put some stools. But no, good spot. If you're in Vegas for an Eagles game, Torrey Pines Pub, awesome.
Ted, exactly. I do have an idea for next week that we can
go ahead.
Happier times, but I'll say
No,
I won't do the show.
Oh, you want to save it? Oh,
well, I don't want to just make executive decisions.
Yeah.
Fam, we appreciate you. Greg gave his shout out. We'll shout out Fan Up.
Oh, jeez.
They're the best way to enjoy fantasy sports, daily NFL contests, NBA contests, and more. Win great prizes. Sign up today. Use promo code A2D for 5,000 bonus points, a $50 value. Use fanup.app to join. Anything left, fellas?
Nope. Baseball soon. All-Star break for the basketball. Run NBA.
I think we might have bought a couple season ticket game or spring training games today. So
Nice.
Nice.
Hell yeah.
I confirmed my opening day tickets the other day.
I still got to do that. God damn it.
You're going to opening day?
Yeah, I
gotta
think
see
so.
you.
Yep,
Yeah.
I think so.
If anybody's interested in opening day tickets, let me know.
Shut up.
I
Oh
am.
my God.
I'm trying to go to opening day.
Oh, like
Ooh,
on the road.
that-
opening
In
day.
Dallas.
Gotcha.
Ooh. Oh, yeah, I forget we open up against the Rangers. Forgot about
Who did
that.
we open up against last year? Oakland?
Oakland.
Oakland.
Oakland at home.
Oakland.
Yeah.
Schwarber hit like his first at bat was a home
Yeah.
run.
In the first at bat. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was
Yep.
fun.
Fun fact: I've been to 3 games. I was at 3 games at in last year's Philly season. Guess how many home runs Schwarber had in those 3 games combined?
All 3.
5,
Nice.
including the no doubter first pitch of the season. Ralphie.
Hell yeah.
See, I wanted to go to more games, but
Yeah, nice.
Frank, you were just at the Super Bowl. Okay, can we?
I know I was just at the Super Bowl, but I wanted to go. To
Oh,
more
I wish
Phillies
I
games.
could go to more games. Frankie, we're at the Super Bowl.
I know I was at the Super Bowl, which was a great time. Arizona was beautiful. I didn't see any
Saw-
coyotes.
Saw
But-
a lot of crying faces walking through the airport.
and it was
When I
awkward
connected-
silence.
When I connected
Yeah.
in Phoenix, walked right past the gate where all the Philadelphia fans were.
Yeah,
Well-
that was
Yeah.
yeah. Having a nervous breakdown in the parking lot and having people saying, "Are you okay?"
Mm.
While just moments after I yeeted right out State Farm Stadium,
Wow.
I'm just like, nope. I screamed some things that
Yeah.
I compared this game to. I'm not going to
Mhm.
say it on here. So, yeah. But no Stelios. It was actually
Yeah.
paid for. So.
Frank, can I just end?
Nice.
Can I end the show?
Just let's
Yes.
end. Let's
Can you
end
end it or do I have to end it?
I can't end it. I would have ended it
I mean,
before
Ralph,
people
what do
didn't
you
say
want?
All right, we'll
goodbye.
see you
Rock,
next
paper,
week,
scissors.
guys. You guys have a
Yeah.
blessed freaking Wednesday. Weekend is almost here. 2 more days, baby. All right, hang in
Yeah.
there. Hang in there. See you guys next week. Go Sixers, Lakers.
Don't say that. Don't say that. I can say
Don't
that. Go
say that.
Sixers. You don't say that.